All right, everybody, welcome into the High Noon Show for today, Tuesday. Sorry, a little bit late today. Had some things going on, an hour late, but we'll get through it all. Let's see here, get everything straightened out here, see how we're doing. Hi, folks, I am Pugs Moran. We do this, the High Noon Show, every day, Monday through Friday. Trending topics, hot topics, headlines, current events, pop culture, anything that is occurring in the world, I try to bring it to you. We don't get into divisive political issues. We don't talk about culture war stuff. We don't talk about anything that is going to have any of us retreating to our, desired corners. No, this is about all the things that we have in common. These are about things that, we could be, on different sides of, but it ain't like we're not going to disinvite one another to Thanksgiving over it. You know what I'm saying? This is more about a unification. It's the first of two streams that I do every day. I do another one that comes on at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We call that Pillow Talk. I'm joined by my partner in that show, James Parker. We call it Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. All times are Central Standard. That show airs Monday through Thursday. This one Monday through Friday at noon. I know, it's 1. I'm sorry. This is the first time I was like, well, maybe I just don't do a show today. No, because I like doing this show. I love doing this show. I look forward to this. A man needs to have some consistencies in their life. A man must have enthusiasms. And this is consistently an enthusiasm in my life. Let's say hi to who we got here. I know it's going to be, hey, Jeff is here. It's Adam. Yeah, I know, Adam. Just lay off. I had things going on. I get it. Taronda. Hi, Taronda. Welcome in. Am I saying that right? What a cool name. Taronda. Taronda is here. Okay. April. Am I saying that right? Is it April? It's April. It's April. I know what it is. Ed is here. Hi, Ed. Ed, how's the knee? Ed is a very important figure in my life, and he's been down for the count. Had some serious reconstructive knee surgery, and I'm fearful he's going to become an Oxycontin head. Watch Dope Sick, Ed. Please watch Dope Sick. Byron's here. All right, everybody's getting in, so let's jump straight into it. Coming along fine. Good. I knew you would. Let's save some of them oxys, though. I'm just saying, when you come down here and you occupy your wing here at the 1%er compound in beautiful sunny downtown Highland Park, Texas, bring a couple oxys. You don't need to take them all. I'm just saying, a little something for poolside, a little something for, laying around enjoying the day. I'm not saying for me. Oh, no, that would be encouraging an illegal activity. What I'm saying is, well, you know what I'm saying. You can just read between the lines if you must. It is high noon, the 17th day of May, year of our Lord, 2022. It is the 137th day of the school year. That's right. Well, not the school year, the actual year. The 137th day of the year. There are 228 days remaining. We like to, before we get into the trending topics, the current events, the headlines, the hot topics, before we do all that, we like to tell you why today is theoretically special. I mean, I don't know. So we check in on the National Day of Calendar. That's step one of this process. What is today, according to the National Day of Calendar? Let's see. It's National Cherry Cobbler Day. Isn't that cherry pie? Isn't that really just a different name for cherry pie? I love cherry pie. I love cherry pie so much. I even like the Warrant song. She's my cherry pie. Bobby Brown. It was Bobby Brown. Remember that girl? Yeah. If you're my age, you remember that girl. That girl was something. Where did she come from, right? We're like, holy cow, look at this video. Who the hell is that? That's Bobby Brown. Not my prerogative. Not that Bobby Brown. A different Bobby Brown. She was a makeup artist. That's what she is. She's not even an actress. She's just a hot makeup artist. And the guys in Warrant were like, let's put her in the cherry pie video. It's National Cherry Cobbler Day. Not Cherry Pie Day. It's Cobbler Day. But whatever. Is there a difference? I don't know. I don't think so. It seems like the same. There's crust and fruit and sweet. It's good. It's National Graduation Tassel Day. Don't give a crap. It's National Idaho Day. Welcome to the party, Idaho. National Rat... Oh, I read that wrong. It's National Pack Rat Day. In here, I was prepared to go into a whole story about the Rat Pack, but What is a pack rat? Is this like somebody who it's a hoarder, right? Isn't that what we used to sort of folksily refer to our crazy aunt who had like 30 years worth of newspapers and magazines in her living room? Didn't we used to call her a pack rat? And then suddenly we made it more insidious by calling these people hoarders. Let's see what this is. National Pack Rat Day. What is a pack rat? Let's see here. Yeah, it's a hoarder. Each year on May 17th, National Pack Rat Day encourages us to take a look at ourselves and see if we have pack rat tendencies within us. A pack rat holds on to, collects, or even hoards. There's the word, hoard. See, it went from being quaint. It went from being folksy. It went from being just, something that an interesting person, a person with some curious choices in their life might do, to being something that requires medical attention. Pack rats are now hoarders. They make television shows about it. Used to just be the behavior of an eccentric old aunt. Now it's somebody who needs to be fixed, I guess. It's National Walnut Day. All right, yeah, I do. I have a walnut hot take. Okay, so I've got a list of foods that are way too much work to enjoy. Okay. Pineapples are on that list, but at least once you're done with the work of getting to the fruit in a pineapple, delicious. Coconuts are like that too. Coconuts, way too much work to get to what's inside, but I do enjoy the flavor of coconut. Lobster and shellfish in general. A lot of work to get to the delicious meat inside, but way worth it. Here's one that is just not worth it. Walnuts. It is National Walnut Day. Have you ever cracked open a walnut and then you're peeling the little pieces aside and there's shards of walnut flesh or whatever the hell that is. And then you put a walnut in your mouth and you're like, tastes like absolutely nothing. I'm just chewing something. It's a substance. I tastes like absolutely nothing. So there you go. Walmart's number one on my list of foods that you need to work too hard to get to. And then when you get to them, they don't even taste good. All right, that's what's on the National Day of calendar. Byron says, get the cinnamon walnuts at Buc-ee's. The crevices hold more cinnamon glue. Yeah, but that's okay. So that's something that I could get into that. That's a walnut in that job is kind of like a mushroom. Like mushrooms, I love mushrooms, but mushrooms don't really taste like anything. It's all about what you put on the mushroom. It's all about how the mushroom is seasoned or fried or whatever. So, a walnut with cinnamon on it, that might be good because the walnut at that point just becomes a conduit to the cinnamon flavor. That's good. Crawfish is ridiculous. Not worth it. Adam, you and I disagree on a lot of things, but on this one, high five, buddy. High five. You're right. Crawfish is disgusting. Crawfish, it's just like lobster. You've never had lobster before, have you? It's just like, no, it's really not. It's not just like lobster. It's like kind of gross. We used to have crawfish in the creek behind our house where we lived, and me and the kids one year. Me and the kids, not me and my kids, me and other kids. We went down there. And we caught a bunch of crawfish and we boiled them in a coffee can and we ate them. Jeez. I don't know, kids are so stupid. Anyway, let's take a look at what happened on this day. Celebrating some historic events. Almost went to the birthdays. On this day in 1536, Henry VIII. I'm Henry VIII. I am. 1536, Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn's marriage is annulled. What happened next? Anything? How'd Anne do? She start dating somebody else? No, she got her head cut off. On this day in 1792, the New York Stock Exchange is formed under the Buttonwood Agreement. And they've been wreaking havoc on the middle class ever since. On this day in 1900, the children's novel, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum is first published in the United States. The first copy is given to the author's sister. I believe this could be, possibly, although the Bible is up there, this could be the first book where the movie was better. First book where the movie was better, Wizard of Oz. Just saying. The Bible, too. The movie The Bible is an easier consumption than just reading the Bible. In 1954, the United States Supreme Court hands down a unanimous decision in Brown versus the Board of Education. This is the ruling that outlawed racial segregation in public schools. How'd that go over? 1974, on this day, police in Los Angeles raid the Symbionese Liberation Army's headquarters, killing 6 members. The Symbionese Liberation Army, this is noteworthy because they were looking for Patty Hearst. They were the people that kidnapped Patty Hearst, and they didn't find her. She was like in Ohio or something. They moved her across country because at that point, nobody was quite sure if Patty Hearst had become a willing participant suffering from Stockholm Syndrome or if she was just still a kidnap victim. The FBI at that point, though, they went, she's not here. No, she went to Ohio. She's living on a farm and training for attacks. They went, she's one of you now. And that's when the whole narrative of the Patty Hearst thing changed. In 1990, on this day, the General Assembly of the World Health Organization eliminates homosexuality from the list of psychiatric diseases. If you were gay in 1989, you were a crazy person. In the eyes of the World Health Organization in 1989, if you were gay, you were mentally deficient. There was something wrong with you. And then, just because a group of dudes got together somewhere over in Europe and said, not crazy anymore, suddenly you're not crazy. Suddenly you're just gay. In 1995, on this day, Sean Nelson steals an M60 tank from the California Army National Guard Armory in San Diego and proceeds to go on a rampage. Didn't this happen a couple of times? Like, I remember this, but there's a documentary on Netflix called Tread, and I don't think it's the same story. I think it's a different guy who stole the tank. This was incredible video. Should we watch it? I mean, let's see if we can find it. I didn't even think that we should find it, but maybe we should find it. All right, let's see this. Let's see if we can find old Sean Nelson on this day going on a rampage. What's his name? I'm just going to put Sean Nelson steals a tank. Here you go. Look what comes up. Sean Nelson tank rampage. All right, hopefully it's a good one. Yeah, here it is. All right, so on this day, this dude just like busted into an armory of the California National Guard, which seems like something that shouldn't be able to be done, but he did it. And then he went and did this. All right, let's watch this. Here we go. This dude just took a tank and went nuts.
Next on World's Scariest Police Chases.
Get out of the street and go back in your house. You're in danger.
He's just rolling through neighborhoods.
A tank on the rampage, and there was nothing the police could do.
We're running out the front door, and there's a tank coming down the street. And just as I got out in the driveway, he ran over my truck.
Nice burn, dude.
San Diego, California. Pursuit of a stolen military vehicle.
You guys got nothing.
For sheer terror, nothing has surpassed the day this city was held hostage by a deranged man who went on a rampage with a 100,000-pound tank.
I'll call it the best I can. I'm trying to get this whole mess on videotape. He's in big trouble. Yeah, let's put him out.
The police were able to find out that this man had armored vehicle training and had stolen this tank from a local armory. He was also known to have a history of emotional problems.
When I first heard it, I thought it was a joke.
This is bad. He's running over fire hydrants. You got hydrants that are blowing water in the air. Get your loudspeaker on, please. This is the San Diego Police Department. Everybody go back in your house. He's doing his cars.
We heard the rumbling sound, and I saw a tank coming down the street. Thought it was a drill or something.
There's cars that are following him. I have no idea why.
Look at the RV!
Yeah, he's rolling over just about anything he wants to.
I was in the locker room at the end of my shift, and I heard the call come out on the radio, so I went back and got my patrol car and headed to the area.
This is the San Diego Police Department.
That's it. That's all we need. It was on this day in history. That guy did that thing. So, there is a really good documentary, though. There's a documentary on Netflix, and I believe it's called Tread. And I don't think it's that story. Let me see. I think it's another guy. Let me see here. Tread documentary. What's the deal with Tread? Tread film. Okay, let me see if this is the Sean Nelson story. I don't think it is. Tread is a 2019 American documentary film by Paul Solet. It premiered at the South by Southwest Film Festival in 2019. American welder Marvin Heemeyer goes on a violent rampage with a secretly fortified bulldog. Oh, that was it. Okay, so on this day, Sean Nelson stole an actual military tank and went and did his rampage in San Diego. But this dude, Marvin Heemeyer, he actually built like a bulldozer crusher machine in his garage, and then he went on a rampage with a secretly fortified bulldozer made up of steel, concrete, and guns after feuding with members of the small town. Oh, man. Okay, you know what? Sure. Now I want to see that one. Let's see what that guy did, huh? Let's see. All right. Okay. What's this guy's name? Don't you want to see it now, or am I just wasting my time? I don't care. I want to see it. I think you do too. Because, Marvin Bulldozer Rampage. Okay, I think that's it. All right, let's check this one out. Killdozer, they call it. They call it the Killdozer. All right. See, how long is this one? We don't need that. We don't need it that long. All right, let's just check it out. Here we go. This is the other guy. This did not happen today, but this is the dude who built his own tank. Destroyed in seconds.
A bulldozer levels a building in Granby, Colorado. Then another.
Dig the metal guitar.
It's part of a meticulously planned citywide demolition project.
The bulldozer went crazy.
But this plan wasn't put together by city engineers or construction workers.
Just received a 911 call reporting that there is an out-of-control bulldozer.
It's the brainchild of an angry man with a grudge against a lot of local people and businesses.
They can't tell who's driving it, but there is someone inside.
The man inside this armor-plated bulldozer is Marv Heemeyer.
Marv!
As horrified townspeople run for their lives, Heemeyer wrecks buildings and vehicles one after another.
All right, so he's a bit of a copycat, you know. Yeah, Sean Nelson did it first on this day. This guy did it, when did he do it? When did he do it? Let's see. It doesn't say when he did it. Let's see what the date was on this. Marvin Heemeyer. Okay, so he did it in 2004. All right, so he did it a good decade later after Sean Nelson. Sean Nelson, you're the originator of the Rampage with a giant bulldozer-like tank / killing machine. All right, so that happened on this day. Let's get into some birthdays. Let's see who's celebrating birthdays. That's step 2. Or actually, this would be step 3 of the show. We do birthdays and deaths, and then we get into the trending topics. Born on this day, dead on this day in 2010, Dennis Hopper. Dennis Hopper draft. Nah, we don't have time for that. But Dennis Hopper, born on this day. Then Frank Booth from Blue Velvet. I mean, also Easy Rider, but on my list of the all-time most overrated films ever, Easy Rider is up there. I have tried. I understand that it holds some degree of cultural significance in American popular culture, but I can't. I don't like it. It's a dumb movie. There's a whole lot of scenes where dudes are tripping and dancing with Indians, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff on motorcycles. It's not good. It's just not good. Oh, other films. Most overrated film draft. All right, number 1, most overrated film of all time. Are you ready? My favorite director of all time. He really Amber Hearded the bet on this one. 2001: A Space Odyssey. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Most overrated film of all time. Seen it a dozen times. No idea what's happening in that movie. No idea. Number 2, Easy Rider. The aforementioned Easy Rider. Number 3, Rebel Without a Cause. Rebel Without a Cause. No idea. No, that movie is so boring. Also, Dennis Hopper is in that too. Dennis Hopper has 2 on the most overrated films of all time. Number 4 on my draft of the most overrated, iconic American films of all time, Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire. It's not about sports agencies. The trailers tried to make me think it was a sports movie about sports agency business. It's not. It's a stupid love story. And number 5 on my most overrated films of all time, Titanic. Titanic sucks. That movie sucks, man. I am sorry. That movie is like, show me. I remember I saw it with my first wife, Sloan, and I was sitting in the movie theater. We saw it at Water Tower Place. It was like on Christmas Day or like the day after Christmas. I don't know, whenever it opened. Everybody was excited. I'm like, oh, I want to see this. I love that. That's a cool history story. And I remember at one point just leaning over to her and going, just come get me. They had Galaga in the lobby. And like, I hadn't seen at that point a Galaga game, in a long time. And I'm like, I'm going to go play Galaga. This is like really lame. Come get me when it hits the iceberg. And then like an hour later, it hits the iceberg. Now, I will grant you, it makes 5 on the list of most overrated movies because it gets good once it hits the iceberg. That's cool. But oh my God, all of that nonsense, all of the buildup, all of that, the king of the world, so boring, so dumb. Oh God. All right. Happy birthday, Dennis Hopper. You've got 2 films on my list of the most overrated films in movie history. There you go. Born on this day in 1955. Another guy who's dead. It sucks. Bill Paxton. Remember Twister? Remember him in Twister with the flying cows? That's not overrated. Twister's a great movie. Also another, the best Bill Paxton role. Chet in Weird Science. Remember Chet? The a-hole older brother? Chet was so funny. Bill Paxton, born on this day in 1955, died in 2017. I think cancer. That sucks. Born on this day in 1956. Possibly, I mean, I guess you'd put Mike Tyson in there, but possibly the last true superstar of boxing, at least that I remember. Sugar Ray Leonard, born on this day in 1956. Also, an umbilical cousin of Sugar Ray Leonard, born on the same day, same year. The late, great Bob Saget. He's having a birthday today. We just lost him a couple months ago. Bob Saget celebrating a birthday today. Born on this day in 1962. One of the best and most overlooked, whenever people talk about the best late night talk show hosts of all time, this guy always gets overlooked, but I am telling you, he deserves it, and he did it right. He did the show. He did it his way. His innovations were brilliant. The way he did his show was so unique and so interesting. Weird, yeah, but interesting. And very few people watched, but the people who did watch were deemed important by the network. So the network was like, okay, we're going to keep this on because you are critically acclaimed, dude. People love what you're doing. Not a whole lot of people in Iowa are watching, but we're getting great pub and people think we're really smart for putting you on. And then you know what he said? He goes, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. This is stupid. Of course, happy birthday, Craig Ferguson. He was so good. Who took his spot? James Corden? And I never watched James Corden. I was so upset when Craig Ferguson left. I went, but maybe James Corden is good too. I don't know. I can't really weigh in. Same way I feel about Noah Wiley. No, that's the dude from ER. No, I don't even know his name. The guy who took over for Jon Stewart on The Daily Show. Don't watch it. I don't watch it anymore. I was like, you know what? There's no way that this next guy can be as good as Jon Stewart, so I'm out. But happy birthday to you, Craig Ferguson. You walked away from a show, and you didn't have to. You're just a cool guy. You were like, I'm bored of this. I'm doing something else. I'm living my life to make me happy, and this is becoming a bit of a grind, and I'm just going to go date Sharon Stone. Remember, he did that. He left the show and started dating Sharon Stone. Happy birthday, born on this day in 1965. I don't think he's with Sharon Stone anymore. I don't think anybody could stay with Sharon Stone that long, but you know what I'm saying? Born on this day in 1965, Trent Reznor. Cool guy. Trent Reznor is a cool guy. 9 Inch Nails, American singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, producer, does some really wicked cool. What am I, from Boston? He does some really awesome film scores these days. Trent Reznor, 9 Inch Nails, born on this day in 1965. Born on this day in 1970, gonna make me play the guessing game here. Jordan Knight. He's a boy bander. Okay, so I know he's not in New Edition. I don't think, is he a New Kid on the Block? Jordan Knight? Whoa. Was that him? Is that Jordan Knight? New Kids on the Block? He's not with Justin Timberlake, right? That's a little bit younger. Anyway, born on this day in 1970, Jordan Knight. Boy bander. That's the best I can do for you here. He's the quad. Byron says he's the quad. New Kid. Adam says he's the New Kid. Okay, there you go. He's New Kids on the Block. Born on this day in 1985, Matty Ice. Matt Ryan, American football player. I don't know who he plays for now. Who does he play for? He's not with the Falcons anymore. Is he in Indianapolis? Is that where he went? Let me see here. Where's Matty Ice? Should say. Downloading. Colts. Yeah. Okay, so he's quarterback for the Colts now. Well, good for you. Good for you, Matty Ice. You still got a little bit left in the tank, I think. You're a good quality quarterback. Born on this day in 1988. Oh, man. Oh, God, this person. I'm sure she's wonderful. I'm sure she's a wonderful individual. But, oh, God. Nikki Reed, the actress Nikki Reed, was born on this day in 1988. Now, I first became aware of Nikki Reed in the early 2000s when she was in a movie called 13. Oh, God. Oh, God. I had no kids, and I watched this movie 13, and I just thought to myself, good Lord, this does not, I don't want to have kids. Oh, my God. I wasn't like this at 13. Maybe I was. No, I wasn't. I'm watching this show 13 about the life of like the average American 13-year-old girls. Oh, God. It was horrifying. Nikki Reed was horrifying in this. And I remember I didn't have kids. I was like, oh, geez, what am I going to do? I can't go through this. And here we sit today. I have a 13-year-old. It's like, I want to sit him down and I want to go, you're watching this movie with me. And we're going to watch the movie. I'm going to be like, is this it? Is this how it happens? Is this what you kids are like? But I also don't want to do that because I don't want him to go, we can do that. That's something 13-year-olds can do. I mean, I don't know where he is. Like, I don't know. They were bad kids. They were doing bad kid stuff. 13, that is the scariest age. And now I got one. Happy birthday, Nikki Reed. You scared the shit out of me back in 2002, 2003, whenever that movie came out. Dead on this day. We have some big ones. We have two that are dead that are legit. I mean, the other guy that's dead, he's legit, but Lawrence Welk died on this day in 1992. This guy had a TV show for like 50 years, and, you know, who was watching this stuff? He played an accordion. Like, it was an accordion show, and it was on like every Saturday or whatever. And he had absolutely just the lamest guests. Like, it was a music show. He'd like, he'd come out and he'd play polkas and stuff like that. And okay, so Lawrence Welk was big in the Midwest. He's from the Midwest, and he was big in Chicago. Like, I remember my grandma used to watch him. Oh, he's so wonderful, and I'd be like, "Are you kidding me? What the was he was?" And look, where I was from, we had a very big Polish community, so I think that maybe that had something to do with the fact that Lawrence Welk was on and that people watched it in the Chicago area because it was like Polish, it was like polkas and stuff like that. But I don't know. What is it, like one of those regional shows that were just really big in certain parts of the country, like Hee Haw? Like, I don't know anybody that ever watched Hee Haw, but I know a whole bunch of people who watched Lawrence Welk, and I don't get either of them. I don't. At least Hee Haw had hot girls, right? I mean, Hee Haw had hot girls in them. I remember that. But I don't know. So Lawrence Welk died on this day in 1992. I think he's another one of these celebrities who's a talented guy, but I think that he acquired this like deity status in the world of music and entertainment just because there weren't a whole lot of competition for him. You know, like there wasn't. We talked about Liberace yesterday, about how the hell did Liberace get so famous? What does he do that is so unique and so special? Lawrence Welk is kind of the same way. He wasn't particularly charismatic. He wasn't interesting. I don't know. No, but again, I was like 5, 6 years old watching it. So what did I know? Anyway, God love you, Lawrence Welk. You cheated the system. You got through. You made a lot of money. You became a big star. And people of my generation have no idea why. No idea why you were made so important. Dead on this day in 2004, a guy who I loved. Oh, did I like this guy? This guy was so awesome. Tony Randall, Felix Unger from The Odd Couple. Yeah, well, he did a whole bunch of stuff. Like, Tony Randall was in a whole crap ton of movies. He played in a lot of movies with Rock Hudson in the 50s. It was like they were friends. And I always just assumed, like long before Rock Hudson came out when he was dying of AIDS, I always just kind of assumed that Tony Randall was gay. Because if you watch episodes of Gary Marshall's The Odd Couple with Jack Klugman and Tony Randall is obviously gay. He's obviously a gay man. He's just, He's just obviously a gay man, okay? That's just, but let me see. Did he ever come out? Because, he was very popular. People loved him. I mean, he probably did. If he had come out, people would be like, oh, okay, so it's 1979, and we still think that homosexuality is a psychiatric condition, and we're not supposed to like homosexuals. But we really love Tony Randall. He could have done a lot. Let's look into his personal life. Let's see what's happening here. Randall was married to his high school sweetheart, Florence Gibbs. Yeah, Rock Hudson was married too. So was Elton John. Randall was married to his high school sweetheart, Florence Gibbs, from 1938 until her death from cancer in April of 92. At the age of 75, he married 25-year-old Heather Harlan, an intern at one of his theatrical programs. Let's see. They lived in Manhattan, apartment, and bought a vacation apartment in Key Biscayne. The couple had 2 children. He had kids after 75. That's right. Julia, born in 1997, and Jefferson, born in 1998, and remained married until Randall's death. In his book, which reminds me, Randall maintained that any publicity that an actor generates should be about his work, not himself. The public knows only one thing about me. Ooh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that an interesting thing for him to say? And the fact that he stayed married kind of tells me that he was gay. He stayed married because he wasn't, it was like, maybe, I don't know. Look, hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter other than now we're looking at from a historical perspective and, just wondering. I don't know what we're wondering. I just always thought he was gay. Maybe he wasn't. It doesn't matter. He was beloved anyway. He was a cool guy. He was funny. He was a funny guy. We didn't care. All right, let's see what else we got here. Who else died today? Donna Summer. She worked hard for her money. Donna Summer died on this day in 2012. There was a time in this country, probably between 1978 and 1982, when there wasn't like the prima donna, not like prima donna, like pre-era Madonna, when Donna Summer was like the biggest female star on the musical planet. She was huge. She won every award. She was the disco queen. She had hit after hit after hit after hit. And then she died. She died in 2012. I don't know how she died. That's sad. Probably sickness because she wasn't that old. But there you go. Okay, so those are the deaths. Lawrence Welk, who, I don't really know. Tony Randall. I love Tony Randall. And Donna Summer. Donna Summer, there you go. I love Donna Summer too. I mean, I was little, it was just catchy. She had good beats, that kind of stuff. All right, let's talk about what's trending today. What is trending in the world today? Number 1, Pfizer. Pfizer is trending. The Pfizer COVID-19 booster has been cleared for children 5 to 11 years old. Make that money, honey. Pfizer is just going to get inside all of us. That's their goal. They're going to get inside all of us with this COVID booster medication stuff. We're constantly going to have to take it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm still not in a place where I'm willing to take another booster. I got my 2 shots. I got my booster. I got really sick on the booster. Not ready to go back in. Although, also trending today, New York and LA. COVID hospitalizations are skyrocketing in New York and LA. Los Angeles is now considering full-on back COVID measures with masks and all that stuff. This is what it's going to be, folks. This is what it's going to be for the rest of our life. This is a thing that's out there now, and it's going to kill the weak among us. Not weak. I don't mean weak. That's a terrible thing to say. It's going to kill people with pre-existing conditions. It's going to kill off old people. And if you're relatively healthy and taking care of yourself, you should be okay if you have the vaccine. If you don't have the vaccine, roll the dice. Good for you. Whatever happens, happens. It'll be a lot worse. Jason Bateman. I was just listening to the new Smart List. Jason Bateman has it. Jason Bateman has COVID, but he still did his podcast, and he claims it's because he's all vaxxed up and he's just experiencing a bad cold. So good for him. Good for people who are all vaxxed up. Good for people who fight it. Good for you. But we're gonna have this forever now, and Pfizer is just gonna make that money. Pfizer, Moderna. I don't think Johnson & Johnson. Didn't Johnson & Johnson get pulled? Because they're like, yeah, you sketchy research on the Johnson & Johnson vax. I don't know. I shouldn't say that because I don't know. Allegedly. That's just something my stupid brain is pushing through my mouth right now. Hypersonic weaponry. Hypersonic weaponry is trending today. The United States of America has successfully tested a brand new hypersonic weapon. Travels at Mach 5, which is 5 times the speed of sound. These are missiles launched from hypersonic carrier vehicles. So they're missiles that travel at Mach 5. Actually, the hypersonic technology as it exists can push things anywhere between 5 and 25 times the speed of sound. We here in the United States, we have successfully tested our first hypersonic missile, and it went Mach 5. What is the point of these? They're so fast that they can't be tracked by radar, and they can fly lower to the ground, which also means they can't be tracked by radar. So we can kill quicker, and we can kill with a bigger surprise. And we have the largest defense budget in the world. And we're just yesterday, we got our first hypersonic missile. Oh, what are you saying? You mean United States of America with our big defense budget, we're not first to the party on hypersonic missiles? No, we're not even close. Russia is using hypersonic missiles in the Ukraine right now. Russia has had them for like 15 years. China has them. You want to know who else has them? India, Pakistan, Brazil, Australia. They all have hypersonic missiles. And we just got it with our big giant defense budget. We just now yesterday got it. So, hey, look, we're in the hypersonic game. That's good. But as they say, we're pulling up the rear on this technology. The UFO UAP hearings are trending. In fact, trending UAP number 1 on Twitter at the moment. They started today. So the hearings, the public hearings where people are there's a congressional panel that has been convened. They are listening to people discuss UFO and unidentified aerial phenomena. They are, and I was watching it earlier today. It's not because we were late, although honestly, I almost said, I'm going to wait and do today's show after this, but then it ended. And anyway, that's not why I was late doing the show today. Here's what I liked about what I saw and what I was watching. It was normal. It was not only normal people, like normal. I almost don't want normal people getting up in front of Congress and testifying about the time they got drunk on a Friday night and woke up in a field in Arkansas. I don't want those people. Those people stay out. We had today we had government officials who were testifying what they know, what they've declassified, what they think, and what they believe. Here, I'll give you this was great. This was so awesome. This was the first guy who came out today. Let me pull him up for you. This is Assistant Director of Naval Intelligence. He got up.
Whether you're new to the world of
I don't care about. All right, here we go. Skip this trial. Mays was his name, but it was handled very seriously. There was no, people dressed as Princess Leia in the crowd. It was very, very serious. So here we go. Let's watch a little bit of this from earlier today.
Chairman Schiff,
and he showed new video.
Carson, Ranking Member Crawford, and committee members, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today to highlight the ongoing work.
Scott Bray, Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence. Okay, this is not some weirdo on A&E, right? This is not some weird, sort of easily dismissible freak who's just trying to, capitalize on the UFO thing. This is the Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence speaking seriously about shit that we know and shit that we don't know and questions that we have. This is it. This is all we need to do. If we could just take this stuff as and here's how they're presenting it, which is probably why it's more palatable to most people. This is not being presented as little green men from another planet are coming to visit us. This is being handled as an issue of national security in the way that they are encountering our military vehicles. So let's listen to what this guy has to say.
Work of the Department of Defense regarding unidentified aerial phenomena. Since the early 2000s, we have seen an increasing number of unauthorized and or unidentified aircraft or objects in military-controlled training areas and training ranges and other designated airspace. Reports.
All right, right there. That's progress. Right there. They're saying we're seeing these things. It's not weather balloon, swamp gas. It's not. We're seeing these things.
Of sightings are frequent and continuing. We attribute this increase in reporting to a number of factors, including our work to destigmatize reporting, an increase in the number of new systems such as quadcopters and unmanned aerial systems that are in our airspace, identification of what we can classify as clutter, mylar balloons, and other types of air trash, and improvements in the capabilities of our various sensors to detect things in our airspace. Almost 2 years ago, in August of 2020, Deputy Secretary of Defense Norquist directed the establishment of the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force within the Department of the Navy. The UAP Task Force was built on the foundation of the Navy's initial efforts to respond to the reports from our aviators on unidentified objects observed in our training ranges.
Okay, naval aviators. These are not, again, this is not the guy who works at the gas station in Nebraska, right? These are naval aviators who are seeing things and going, I need to talk to somebody about this.
The basic issues then and now are twofold. First, incursions in our training ranges by unidentified objects represent serious hazards to safety of flight. In every aspect of naval aviation, safety of our aircrews is paramount. Second, intrusions by unknown aircraft or objects pose potential threats to the security of our operations. Our aviators train as they would fight. So any intrusions that may compromise the security of our operations by revealing our capabilities, our tactics, techniques, or procedures are of great concern to the Navy and the Department of Defense. From the very beginning, we took these reports very seriously. We instituted a data-driven approach to the investigations where we could collect as much data as possible and use all available resources to analyze and make informed decisions on the best ways to address our findings. Our main objective was to transition UAP efforts from an anecdotal or narrative-based approach to a rigorous science and technology engineering-focused study.
Thank you.
This data-driven approach requires input from a wide variety of sources. In the early stages, the task force worked to standardize the reporting mechanisms and processes to make it as easy as possible for personnel to report any engagement so that we were getting that wide range of reporting that we needed. We also spent considerable efforts engaging directly with our naval aviators and building relationships to help destigmatize the act of reporting sightings or encounters.
Thank you.
And we worked with naval aviation leadership to provide additional equipment to record any encounter. Navy and Air Force crews now have step-by-step procedures for reporting on UAP on their kneeboard in the cockpit and in their post-flight debrief procedures. The direct result of those efforts has been increased reporting, with increased opportunities to focus a number of sensors on any objects. The message is now clear. If you see something, you need to report it.
Thank
and
you.
the message has been received. In fact, recently, I received a call from a senior naval aviator with over 2,000 flight hours. He called me personally from the flight line after landing to talk about an encounter that he had just experienced. Those were just the initial steps. We also made a concerted effort to assemble subject matter experts from across the Department of Defense and the intelligence community and other U.S. government agencies and departments. We forged partnerships with the research, development, and acquisition communities, with industry partners, and with academic research labs, and we brought many allies and international partners into our discussions on UAP.
All right, you see what I'm saying about this dude? This is a legit dude. This is not some like crazy with silly hair who's wearing a Hawaiian shirt talking about something on A&E, Ancient Aliens, right? This is like we're making it serious. And here's how they're able to present it in a more serious fashion. They're not saying, yeah, these are aliens. What they're saying is, hey, we're supposed to have this like really good defense system where nobody from any other countries are supposed to be able to penetrate our airspace. And yet something is penetrating our airspace. Now let's find out if these are Russian, Chinese, Brazilian, let's find out what these things are. Approach it from that perspective. And that's the entire reason for this thing. They're like, what are these things? Nobody is saying that these are UFOs or aliens from another planet. The way they're approaching this as things are happening and it's time we start talking about it because these things can do things that we're not really familiar with. If these things are Russian, if these things are Chinese, they are so far ahead of us technologically speaking that we need to really focus on that stuff. And that's basically what this is about. Now, I don't think that they are Russian. I don't think that they are Chinese. And you know what? I don't think that the pilots do either, because how would they have that kind of thing? And here's the other deal. This is about defense. This is about defense of the United States from, aircraft coming in over our skies that have the potential to do all kinds of damage. What is our response going to be on this? I'll tell you what our response better not be. Our response better not be, let's shoot at it. Because I'm telling you, if we shoot at it and they can already do things that we can't do, they might shoot back. And I promise you, their weapons are better than ours. If their technology to be able to do the things that they're able to do, they probably also have the technology to make their weapons better than ours. Leave them alone. Let's just see what it is. Let's talk about it. Let's try and figure it out. But let's not just start launching nukes at weird things we see in the sky. I don't want any sort of interspecies universal war. I don't think that we are ready for that.
Additionally, subject matter experts from a wide variety of fields, including physics, optics, metallurgy,
let's see some of the new
meteorology. Just name a few.
Here's some video.
The first video, recorded or not. It may be observable by one or multiple assets. In short, there's rarely an easy answer. For example, let me share with you the first video that we have here today, which shows an observation in real time.
All right, so these are recent videos. These are new. I don't know what that is. That's a pilot. It's a Navy pilot.
There it was.
Just hovering there.
In many cases, that's all that a report may include. And in many other cases, we have far less than this. As we detailed in both the unclassified and classified versions of the preliminary assessment released by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence last June,
more video.
This often limited amount of high number of
video.
UAP encounters. For example, let me show you a couple of another video and image.
Again, this isn't some bullshit YouTube video. Okay, this is the United States government going, this is what we got, and we have no idea.
Taken years apart in different areas. In this video, U.S. Navy personnel recorded what appears to be triangles, some flashing, recorded several years ago, off the coast of the United States. This was recorded while the U.S. Navy ship observed a number of small unmanned aerial systems in the area. Now, importantly, the video was taken through night vision goggles with a single lens reflex camera. These remained unresolved for several years.
All right. So is there more video? Here we go. More
that these triangles correlate to unmanned aerial systems in the area. The triangular appearance is a result of light passing through the night vision goggles and then being recorded by an SLR camera. I don't mean to suggest that everything that we observe is identifiable, but this is a great example of how it takes considerable effort to understand what we're seeing in the examples that we are able to collect. In this example, we accumulated sufficient data from two similar encounters from two different time periods in two different geographic areas to help us draw these conclusions. That's not always the case, though. We recognize that that can be unsatisfying or insufficient in the eyes of many. This is a popular topic in our nation, with various theories as to what these objects may be and where they originate. By nature, we are all curious and we seek to understand the unknown. And as a lifelong intelligence professional, I'm impatient. I want immediate explanations for this as much.
All right, so I kind of took that out of context because I jumped ahead. But what he explained about that was they figured out why it has a rectangular shape, saying that it may not actually be rectangular, but this is why it appears to be rectangular. That was what they found. They still didn't know. They don't know what it is. They have no clue, but here's why it's appearing to flash. And here's why it's of a rectangular or triangular shape. All right, there you go. That's happening. That's good. There's YouTube that you can watch the whole damn thing on YouTube. It's fascinating stuff. It's fascinating stuff. Finally taking it serious. All right, let's move on to Psywar. We'll see. I seriously can't believe you're falling for this. Okay, we'll move on from that. I'm not falling for anything. I am listening to the Deputy Director of Intelligence for the United States Navy explain that he's falling for it, or he doesn't know what the hell this is. I'm sorry if it frightened you, Will. I'm sure that that's what this is about. People, we are really just unevolved animals at this point. We sometimes get confused by things we don't understand, things that sort of conflict with our programming to be able to process what it is that we encounter. And that when we see things that are not necessarily in the programming, we tend to lash out and get angry and say things like, I can't believe you're falling for it. I understand it's a defense mechanism. That's fine. Just recognize that there are a whole bunch of things in this world, Will, that you don't understand, that I don't understand, that we don't understand. People 1,000 years from now thought that they were at the apex of understanding the world. We change constantly. It's called evolution. No, I'm not projecting. What I'm doing is deconstructing. I'm deconstructing what your motive for lashing out. I can't believe you're falling for this. That's a lashing out. You are lashing out at me. You are holding yourself up in a superior position because you're not falling for it. And I'm telling you, I'm deconstructing why it is that you are coming to that conclusion, because you're scared. All right, moving on. Psywar. Let's see here. I mean, that's okay. You're an older guy. You came from a generation. You're like me. We came from a generation where there was a very strong plan by the governments of the world to ignore these things and to make people think that they're not seeing what they're seeing, and that's what's happening is not what's happening. We have gone through a whole new doorway now. The world governments are now going, okay, we need to talk about this stuff, and we need to talk about it like it's serious, because we can't hide it anymore, because we now exist in a world where everybody has a camera, everybody is taking pictures, everybody is seeing things, everything is being documented. It's not just Cooter at the gas station in Arkansas anymore going, and then the lights came down. No, there is shit being archived now, and they got to talk about it. What it is. Here's what I don't understand. Are you arguing, Will, that didn't just happen? What you just saw didn't happen, that's not a thing? Because I don't understand, because it's a thing. That's what is not being debated anymore, that these things are up there. So the argument is now, what is it? Is it something earthbound? Okay, well, if it is earthbound, then it is a type of technology that we do not understand, at least not from the American defense capabilities. We don't know what it is. So, okay, hold on. I'll go back because this is a fascinating topic. And, people are going to remain closed-minded about this. That's fine. But enough of us and more people every day, especially through very serious things like are occurring on Capitol Hill today, are changing people's perspective on this entire issue. And again, we are not saying that these are alien invaders. We are just we're taking baby steps on this. We are at the point now where we're going, yeah, that's a thing. That happened. That's weird. Can you explain it? No, we can't explain it. Will you look into it and maybe explain it in the future? And now finally they're saying, yeah, we will. Okay, we're going to start taking it seriously. Instead of just saying swamp gas, weather balloons, nonsense like that. A lot of it is bullshit. That's been my problem with the whole UFO, UAP community for years, is that there are opportunists out there who understand that there are people who are interested, and they are more than willing to create bullshit stuff that sort of, degenerates any sort of intellectual conversation about the stuff that we truly can't explain. If enough people give you a gaslight about something that is bullshit, then the stuff that might not be bullshit just seems like bullshit by association. And that's kind of the problem. Brady says, I'm interested in knowing the evidence that Will has for this assertion about misdirection. Yeah, I don't know. This is like too, I don't know. It's, yeah, I don't know. My argument is that this is a distraction from secret government defense programs. Of course, the intelligence director wants to plead ignorance. Oh, that's very true. That's as workable a theory as there is out there. Okay, I can respect that. I can respect that that's your position. But I thought you were arguing that these things are just all fake, that they're not actually seeing things, that these pilots are not seeing things, that these world leaders are not coming out and saying these are things that are happening. You're saying you're going more down the conspiracy theory hole, that this is all some, big work job to keep us ignorant. And it might be. That might be. I mean, I don't think so, but, could be. Who knows? Well, when has the government ever wanted us to know what they're doing, Brady? I don't know. That's a very complicated question to answer. I mean, and it also depends entirely on your perspective. Like, if you think government bad, lie, then yeah, you're going to probably be like, they're always doing stuff to lie to us. But if you have some semblance in faith in government, which I still do. I mean, there is corruption, but there's corruption in all forms of human interaction. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily evil. So if you believe that government is evil in all of its forms, then yeah, you might think that they are constantly trying to lie to us and misdirect us. Oh, I don't know. Propaganda. Hey, you want to talk about something? Look, let's get into this next thing, because this next thing is even more strange. Psy-war is trending. Psychological operations is trending. And this goes right into what Will is saying. He's not wrong. Will is not wrong. I mean, there is what he is arguing here. I just misinterpreted it, and I apologize. But what he is saying here is that, yeah, man, this could be a psychological operation. Now, to what end? I don't know. More questions. But psych ops or psy-war is trending today. And here's why it's trending. So the Psychological Operations Unit of the United States military, which has always been sort of it's not a black op, because we've known that it's existed and they've been public before. Hell, there was a movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats, made about the whole thing, books, and people come out and talk about it. So it's not, completely something that is buried, but we do have psychological operations. And for the first time, they're recruiting. Now, why are they recruiting? So the Psychological Operations Wing of the United States military is recruiting. They made a YouTube video trying to get people to come join their little weird witches' coven of creepiness and strangeness. Why are they doing this? Because they've recognized that a whole lot more people in America are batshit nuts. And they want to know. This is from the story that I'm reading. The whole QAnon thing, they're playing into that for recruitment purposes. They want to get these crazy people involved so that, I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe they want to study them or whatever. But anyway, it's very strange. This is the first time this has ever happened, and Psy-war is trending because of this. Here is a YouTube video. I'm going to show it to you. This is a recruitment video put out by the United States government. Fort Bragg is where the Psychological Operations Unit is based. And let's just watch this. They're leaning into the crazy. They're like, yeah, we'll use crazy for our wars. Here we go. This is it. And it's being criticized. I don't really have a criticism of it. I just think it's awesome. This is the recruitment video. If your opponent is choleric of temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. Sun Tzu, The Art of War.
As the world watches
you ever
and
wondered-
listens in horror, the peaceful pro-democracy demonstration in China comes to a violent and bloody end. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Who's pulling the strings, QAnon people? Yeah, you! You are pulling the strings!
Wolves hiding nearby, whispering, do or die around me.
That is a cool ass patch, though. For like, if you're like in the military and that's your patch, it's the ghost.
You say your last good night while I
is another very important phase of warfare. It has as its target not the body, but the mind of the enemy.
The target of psychological warfare is against the enemy's mind.
It is words and ideas.
The ammunition used by Psywar.
Its mission is to influence the thoughts of the enemy soldier, and at the same time
is expected and encouraged to study foreign languages and the social sciences such as history, economics, and sociology. He must have a broad and sympathetic understanding of all phases of human experience.
Gripping at my skin, the walls of night closing.
But the use of this force as an integral part of combat has now taken on new form.
As I wait to say my last goodbye.
These are the Psywar soldiers.
Oh, come on! Verbum Vincent. Verbum. Word is victory. Word is... What does Verbum Vincent mean? Hold on. Word is... Word will... Anybody know? I'm not that strong. Verbum Vincent. That's word of... Word will conquer. Vincent. Hold on. Verbum Vincent. Let me see what that means. You guys are probably doing it quicker. Verbum Vincent. I'm sorry, Verbum Vincent, I mean. Verbum Vincent is Latin for the word will conquer. That is it. There you go. Ooh. That's some good shit, man. That is lean into the crazy. When you identify that half the people in this country are crazy, lean into it. Give them what they want. Come on over. You want to be crazy? We got a place you can be crazy. We got a place where we can tap in to your crazy shit, and maybe we'll discover some things. Who knows? Come on. Join the Psychological Operations Warfare Program at Fort Bragg. People are obviously freaking out about it. I love it. I think I want to see that movie. I want them to take that 3-minute trailer and turn it into a full-ass movie. I will see that movie. Men Who Stare at Goats is great. If you've ever seen that movie, the George Clooney movie from about 10 years ago, that movie is crazy funny. That's more about the LSD aspects that the military use to sort of tap into places in the mind that they, it's illegal everywhere else, unless you were in the military, in the Special Psychological Operations Unit. Then you could do LSD, and they would just watch you. Look at him. He's acting weird. Jeff says, I've been watching you with the sound down. Audio is crucial to the Pugs and Company experience. Well, I would think so. Brady says, holy cow. If they had that ad when I was joining Age, I would have been all over it. I know. I totally would have been all over it. Will says, how can you watch that and then blow off my UFO theory as conspiracy? Very easily, because first of all, let's take a deep breath. I didn't blow off your UFO theory as conspiracy. I said that, yeah, you might be right. That is a very real possibility. My rant about you being frightened about what's unknown was issued before you had made yourself clear, and for that I apologize. So how can I watch that? Well, first of all, I could watch that for hours. That was just superior filmmaking. That was just really entertaining. I guess I don't understand your question. You're suggesting that those two things, those two positions cannot coexist, but one of the positions, me thinking your conspiracy UFO thing is crazy, I've already admitted I got that wrong. I've already admitted. So I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to work that through. Okay, so let's go into the story here about that ad because people are kind of a little bit freaked out by it. I am not. I love it. Let's pull the blanket back. Let's see all the shit. Let's see. Let's watch. I'd love to know all the deep dark secrets. Although I don't look, I can handle it. I can handle it, and I won't go blabbing it from the rooftops. Yeah, I mean, black helicopters, trilateral commission, whatever the hell you want to offer me. Let me know. Let me in on the secret. I won't tell the dummies, but I think I could process it. Let's see. It's a stretch to link the U.S. Army to witchery, but that's happening in response to an eerie recruitment video shared by Fort Bragg's 4th Psychological Operations Group. Titled Ghosts in the Machine, the video that we just watched. The video feels like a movie trailer and comes with no explanation other than all the world's a stage. Join us. The video starts innocently with benign clips of cartoons and images. Okay, I take exception to that. Those were not innocent cartoons. Those just remind me how twisted people were back in the 40s and 30s when they first started making cartoons. Cartoons were creepy back then. Cartoons were weird. They weren't like kiddie stuff. They were bizarre. Begins with benign clips of cartoons and imagery of empty city streets and subways, but the vibe grows increasingly more disturbing, with footage of shadowy men, anxious stares at dark skies, violent riot scenes, and soldiers being deployed. Have you ever wondered who's pulling the strings? The video asks. You'll find us in the shadows at the tip of the spear. Anything we touch is a weapon. We can deceive, persuade, change, influence, inspire. We come in many forms. We are everywhere. As of May 16th, the video has gotten more than 300,000 views and ignited a growing number of articles debating its intent, including one headline about the occult in the United States military psyops connection to it. Ooh, the occult. Occult could be real, you know? Well, wait, we don't know. We don't know! The 4th Psychological Operations Group, also known as PSYOP. I love it. You know, you don't believe in aliens, but, 9 out of 10 people in this country believe that a dude was the son of God. He walked on water and cured lepers. But, you know, the idea that we're not alone in this universe, that's a bridge too far. Well, where'd he come from? Maybe your idea of heaven is just another planet. Huh? Jesus was an alien. Thank you. That is a little something I've been working on for about 20 years, with Jesus was an alien. We'll see. Let's see here. News articles about the video question not just what it means, but why it was made at all. Here's the odd thing. Clandestine army units like this don't make recruiting material because that material brings unwanted attention. Have you ever seen an official Delta Force recruiting video? No, you haven't. Dylan Charles wrote in USSA News that public debate proves the video effectively does what psyops are supposed to do, which is to confuse, mislead, redirect, and occupy your mind. They want you to know that they are ghosts in the machine, watching and warping everything, he says. However, a conspiracy site known as, I love the conspiracy sites, conspiracy site known as The Vigilant Citizen suggests the intent may be darker and possibly related to the occult. Yeah, maybe. Anything's possible. Colonel Chris Stangl told the news outlet the video is purposely vague and demonstrates that a big part of psychological operations is creating persuasive media. We kind of sought to create a piece that doesn't show what a PSYOP soldier does necessarily because it's so complicated and there's so much about it, quite honestly. Strange told Task and Purpose magazine. It's just not incredibly sexy, but what it feels like to do our craft when we're successful. And when we think that kind of allows the audience to immerse themselves into our world and what our craft is. This is also spooky. Everything is a weapon, says the video, blah, blah, blah. Recent, blah, blah, blah. QAnon phenomena, conspiracy theories, blah, blah, blah. Fertile ground, recruiting. Okay. Crazy people. Let's give the crazy people a little something to chew on. and that's what they're doing. Look, hey, I don't know what that is. 2 stories in a row. No idea what the UFO UAP thing is. No idea what the motives behind that PsyOps promotional video is. But it's fun. It's fun. Come on, we need fun. Let's see here. Jeff says, I'm convinced all early cartoons were racist, misogynist who indulge in psychedelics. Byron says, all the weirdest dudes were the first animators, kind of like teachers now. God, it's such a kind of like teachers now. The fuck? Teachers? Dude, stop it. Teachers. All right. Yes, teachers are the problem. Teachers are people who make 40 grand a year and deal with your shit-stained kids for 8 hours a day. They're the problem. Laguna Woods. Here you go. Here's a problem. I'm going back and forth on this. Laguna Woods is where that shooting was on Sunday. Remember, we had one on Saturday, and we got another one on Sunday at that Taiwanese, or is it Thailand? I don't know. Thinking about it right now, I don't know the difference between Taiwan and Thailand. Is Taiwan in Thailand? It should be, but it might not be. So I think it was a Taiwan. Yes, it was a Taiwan congregation of people in Laguna Woods, Orange County. And somebody came in and attacked, killing one, shooting a bunch of other, all old people too, by the way. Everybody was like over 80 years old. And then the old people ganged up on the shooter. And they hogtied him with electrical cords and all that kind of stuff. So he wasn't really able to finish it. Well, it's now being revealed that it was a hate crime. It absolutely was, even though the guy doing the shooting was Asian. But something that me as a white dude sometimes fails to truly consider. Asian is a whole bunch of different things. It's, it's like, it's not just you're Asian, you're in one category. This was a Chinese dude who is upset about Taiwanese independence movements and stuff. So he targeted this Taiwanese congregation. That's what the police are saying now. And I had to think, I was like, it's a tragedy and it's really sad when, people die for stupid reasons because a crazy person got a hold of a gun and decided to make a point. That's just flat out, inarguably sad and tragic. But I don't really care about this issue. Chinese dude angry at Taiwanese dudes in Orange County, California. All right, but I'm glad they gave us an answer on that. Also, here's another one. This is breaking here locally. Apparently, there have been a number of attacks in the Dallas area on Korean businesses. Some dude's been like rolling around, shooting. I don't know if there's a death toll. I just find this story to be unsavory and not really interested. But it's been a big local story for about the last week now, after a dude rolled by a nail salon and just, peppered it, or the Hair World salon, and peppered it with a whole bunch of bullets. The police in Dallas said early Tuesday morning that they had arrested a suspect in a shooting at a hair salon last week that wounded 3 women of Korean descent, an attack that had raised fears that a gunman was targeting Asian-run businesses. The suspect, who was not immediately identified, was being interviewed and processed. No further information was immediately available, but Chief Edgardo Garcia planned to release more information on Tuesday. Investigators have been examining whether the shooting on Wednesday could be classified as a hate crime. The police initially said there had been no indication of a racist motive, but Chief Garcia told reporters on Friday that there may be a link to hate. Well, there may be a link to hate with anything. I mean, if you're just trying to get... You see, this is where I always get a little bit hinky on the whole hate crime thing. If I'm aiming a gun at somebody and pulling the trigger, I got to believe I hate that person. Does the reason I hate that person have anything to do? I don't care. I don't care. If a dude walks up to me with a gun and he's going to shoot me, I think he hates me. And why he hates me in that moment doesn't really matter. I mean, unless we're trying to extricate some sort of moral lesson and some kind of public good out of, well, this is why he did it. And we need, I just don't think, everything's a hate crime. You murder somebody, that's a hate crime. You hate that person. In the Wednesday attack, a man wearing all black and carrying a long rifle walked into the Hair World Salon in an Asian immigrant enclave in North Dallas and opened fire after saying a few unintelligible words, the police said. He shot 3 women, all of whom were expected to survive, before fleeing. No one was injured in the other 2 shootings on May 10th and on April 2nd, but both attacks targeted Asian-run establishments in the same area. Adding to the concern was a national atmosphere of increased attacks on Asian Americans, including a shooting rampage in Atlanta last year that left 8 people dead. That was the massage parlor killer. But that dude, okay, so this is a problem with the massage parlor killer. So remember the guy outside Atlanta who went to all these massage parlors and just started killing people? That wasn't targeted because they were Asian. That was not the reason or the motive for that attack. It just so happened that all the massage parlors in that area were Asian massage parlors, which is a thing. That was about his own sexual addiction. He was a religious kid who had been in some sort of religious deprogramming for his porn addiction, and he decided that these massage parlors that were in his area were way too tempting for him and he needed to eliminate them. It wasn't because he hated Asians. It was because he didn't like the temptation. So I push back a little bit on that. Dallas Morning News, come on, man. You're better than that. Let's see. Adding to concern was national atmosphere of increased attacks on Asian Americans, including a shooting rampage in Atlanta last year that left 8 people dead, most of them women of Asian heritage. Well, that left 8 massage therapists dead. They happened to have been Asian, but that wasn't the reason that he killed. He killed them because they were massage therapists running Jack Shacks, and he had a porn addiction, and it conflicted with his Christian upbringing, and that was a whole thing. The post-Dallas police arrest suspect in attacks on 3... Okay, so that's just a different story. That's more. All right, so there you have it. So they got this guy developing ... as they say. This is interesting. This is a fun one. American interests are trending. What are Americans interested in? Okay, that's what this is about. This is a new study that was done over the last couple of weeks, and it shows basically what this is based on social media platforms and engagement by Americans on social media platforms. What are the most important issues to Americans between April 4th to May 16th? Number 1, and it's not even close, the number 1 thing that Americans are talking about the most. I mean, there are important things out there. There's the Ukraine war, there's inflation, abortion, there's political divisiveness, red, blue. The number 1 thing is the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Johnny Depp Amber, and it's not even close. It's like, I don't know how to say these numbers. It's 508. Average number of social media interactions per published article by select topic, 508. That's number 1. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is by far the biggest topic in America between April 4th and May 16th. Number 2 is Elon Musk, which makes perfect sense to me because every single day Elon Musk is trending for some reason, mostly due to Twitter, but Elon Musk is number 2 at 417. Remember, 508 is the high. Elon Musk is 417. Joe Biden, big drop off. Joe Biden is 3rd, 170. Abortion, which, people will have you. I don't know if this is good or if this is bad. Certain circles of this country would have you believe that abortion is the most important issue that is facing us as a civilized society today. But the fact that it's coming in 4th place with 141, Heard and Depp are at a 508. Abortion, the abortion issue, that doesn't bode well for, women who think you can have all your little marches, you can do all that stuff. The rank and file American people, at least as measured by social media interactions, don't really care all that much. They're not. You are just above the Russian-Ukraine war. Americans are just about as interested in the Russian-Ukraine war as they are in the abortion situation, which doesn't bode well for the left. Doesn't bode well for women. Doesn't bode well. This is telling me that the people who are doing what they're doing concerning abortion can just keep on doing it because Americans don't care. We'll see. The Russia-Ukraine war comes in next at 91. Inflation, right? That's not, now this is the right's issue. The right is trying to get everybody all freaked out and stoked up about inflation and all that kind of stuff. Nobody cares. No, nobody really cares. So, I mean, I care. I care every time I go to the grocery store. I'm like, are you kidding me? This went up 30 cents. This was, oh God. But no, not really. 70 ranks at 70. Inflation ranks at 70. And lastly, and boy, doesn't this is appropriate, COVID-19, all the way at the bottom of the, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 biggest topics Americans are engaged with. COVID at 44. So number 1, running away at 508 is Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Number 2 is Elon Musk. Number 3 is Joe Biden. Number 4 is abortion. Number 5 is the Russian-Ukraine war. Inflation is 6. And then COVID-19 is 7th. We're not serious people. We're just not serious people. Or, and there is another way to look at this, or we just use social media as a distraction. And, you know, we are serious people and we do have these other issues. We just don't go to social media to, talk about them or whatever. Or we're using social media the way we tune out with television. We just talk about stuff that is a distraction. Amber Heard, Johnny Depp is definitely a distraction. I mean, there are certainly other things there that are probably more pertinent to daily life, but, you know, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, that's fun. She pooped in a bed. She's an actress. She's Aquaman's mom, and she took a dump right there on the bed. Got my attention. Speaking of, James Franco is trending because today in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, it was revealed that James Franco was possibly, maybe, who knows, could be diddling Amber Heard. They showed video today of Amber Heard hooking up with James Franco. So there you go. That's why James Franco is trending. Also, playing with the American interest thread, Elon Musk is trending again. Why is Elon Musk trending? More and more people are saying the Twitter deal is dead. Trump said the Twitter deal is dead. Did you see that? He was like, he ain't gonna buy it. It's falling apart. Everybody is saying that the Twitter deal is dead. And one of Elon Musk's financial backers, one of his partners in the deal, is saying that the deal isn't dead. It's not dead. But Elon's got to go back and renegotiate the price. So if you remember the $44 billion price that he negotiated, which is what got the board of directors to go, dude, you are so overpaying for this. We are going to go against our better judgment, and we're just going to let you overpay. So now the dude who is helping Elon pay for it is saying, it's not dead. He's just not going to pay that amount. Well, the Twitter board might be like, we're going to stand pat. We're going to stay the way we were before you made that ludicrous offer. And so there you have it. I don't know. It's in flux. We will see where it goes. This one sucks. All right. This one I don't like. This one is upsetting to me. So Tariq Cohen is trending. I don't know if you know who. I don't know if Nicole Kidman play Aquaman's mother. Is that right? Does she play the queen? Is she the queen of the Aquaman universe? Maybe that's it. Maybe I have it wrong, Clovis. You could be right. I don't know. I just always think of her as a mother. Who does it? Okay, so I'm gonna ask, who does Amber Heard? I think she plays like the princess of the Aqua world or whatever, or the queen. That's a good point. I should probably get that straight. Who does Amber Heard? Poop comes up. Who does Amber Heard play in Aquaman? Okay, there we go. Let's see. Who does she play? She plays Mira. Okay. Who is Mira? All right. Let's see. Who is Mira? Mira's got to have her own page, right? She's got to, Mira. Let's see. All right. Queen Mira is a fictional superheroine and warrior appearing in the American comic books published by DC. I thought she was Aquaman's mom. Thank you for finally pointing that out. I have been saying that she was Aquaman's mom for months now. Thank you for pointing that out. She's not. Because when you said that Nicole Kidman was Aquaman's mom, I went, yeah, that sounds right. That seems, I think suddenly that just popped into my head and I was like, yeah, so who's Amber Heard? All right, so back to Tariq Cohen. This is very sad. Tariq Cohen is trending today. He's a football player. He played for my Chicago Bears. He is a little guy. He is a little water bug. He is, he's like one of those human joystick types. He is a really talented player with the ball in his hands. He's a 5th round pick, expected nothing from him. And holy shit, could this guy do everything? He was on his way to superstardom. I mean, he was on his way to like Tariq killed him. He was like that kind of a player. And then 2 years ago, he really, he got hurt. He got hurt bad. I think it was the ACL thing. And so he missed 2 entire seasons. He hasn't played in the NFL in 2 seasons. Finally, the Bears, they cut him. They were like, look, man, it's taking you way too long to get better. We're going to give you an opportunity to go somewhere else. Oh, and it's missing now. It is missing. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this again. So he's trending. Tariq Cohen is trending because he was filming a workout today for prospective teams to watch and see what he could do. And he got injured. He got injured again. Former Bears running back Tariq Cohen seems to have suffered a severe leg injury while training on Instagram Live. There was video of it. Okay, here we go. Here's some video of it. Yikes. He's such a good kid, too. Such a good, exciting kid, nice kid, great energy, super sweet, all of that good stuff. So here, let's see if we can see it. Yeah. So this is why he's trending. This happened while filming workouts on Instagram Live. Here's the problem with him. And like I said, I watched him play. I watched every game he played in. He's tiny, he's little, and apparently he's fragile. Oh, damn it, kid. Yeah, he's like, come on, turn the camera off. This is not good. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Being a pro athlete, that is some fragile shit right there, man. That is one little thing can go wrong. I feel so bad for that kid. Everybody on Twitter feels bad for him. That's why he's trending. He's such a nice kid. He's such a sweet kid. He's got a big smile. He's got good energy, and he's working so hard to come back. He was so exciting when he was playing, when he was healthy. It was like, where did this kid come from? This kid is really good. And it was, a lot of us who are Bear fans, a lot of our hopes were that he would come back, he would be healthy, and then we would just, re-sign him, because we cut him. It doesn't look like it. That's terrible. Terrible. So fragile. Being an athlete is fragile. Rajon Rondo is also trending. Rajon Rondo is the much-traveled Rajon Rondo. Because he's an idiot. Rajon Rondo has always been kind of a problem. But now he's in trouble. A woman has reportedly received an emergency protective order against Rajon Rondo. He played for the Mavs. I mean, I know he played for the Bucks. I know he played for the Celtics. He played for the Bulls. He was at Lakers too, right? Did he play for the Mavs? I don't even know. Much traveled. This dude seems to have played for just about every team. A woman has he was good too, but apparently, I know in Chicago he was kind of a dick, and they couldn't wait to get rid of him. A woman has reportedly received an emergency protective order against Rajon Rondo after she says he pulled a gun on her in front of her children. Multiple outlets, including the Louisville Courier-Journal, reported that the woman filed the order last Friday, writing, "I am extremely fearful for my safety and for the safety of my children. Rajon has a history of volatile, erratic, and explosive behavior," she reportedly added, of the Cleveland Cavaliers player who's 36 years old. According to ESPN, she filed the order in Louisville, Kentucky, 2 days after she asked a boy who was playing video games with Rondo, their son, they have a shared son, she asked the boy to separate laundry, to stop playing and separate laundry, at which point Rondo allegedly became enraged and ripped the video game console from the wall, according to documents cited by the Courier-Journal. In the emergency protective order, the woman wrote that Rondo told her, "You're dead," before the basketball player allegedly left the house briefly and then came back in with a gun. It's because she told the kid to fold some laundry. I mean, you would think that, get rid of the gun aspects of it, but throwing a temper tantrum like that because, you got to stop playing and you got to do some chores, that would usually be the reaction of the kid, not the dad. According to the emergency protective filing per the AP, he yelled at both children, his son and daughter, outside of the home while holding the gun, asking why they were scared of him. Okay, so he went outside, he's waving the gun around on the lawn, and he's demanding to know why his children are afraid of him. Oh, my goodness. ESPN reported that the emergency protective order said former interim Louisville Metro Police Chief Yvette Gentry arrived at the home, at which point the woman the mom locked herself inside with the children. According to the emergency protective order per ESPN, Chief Gentry obtained Rondo's gun at some point and he left. Multiple outlets. You can just leave. If you're Rajon Rondo, you can just leave. You're on the lawn, you're waving a gun, you're threatening your kids and your whatever, baby mama, and the cops show up, she takes the gun and you just leave? That doesn't sound right, does it? That doesn't seem like that would happen to me. I don't know that I'd be able to leave. ESPN reported that we already got that. Multiple outlets reported that a judge granted the woman's emergency protective order the same day, ordering the NBA star not to communicate with her and to stay at least 500 feet away. All right, so there you go. That's why Rajon Rondo is... Rondo was traded to the Cavaliers in January and has played for several teams over the course of his career, including the Celtics and the Lakers. TMZ was the first to report on the incident. All right, there you go. Couple of sporty guys there. We got the very sad Tariq Cohen and the equally sad Rajon Rondo, but for a different reason. People Magazine is trending today. People Magazine is trending. Why? Because say goodbye, People Magazine. People Magazine is no longer going to be printed. That's right. You're not going to be... what's the grocery store going to be like if while you're waiting for that woman in front of you to write a check, you can't just look and browse through a People Magazine right there on the stand? I don't know. They are not going to be printing People Magazine anymore. It's going to move to an online, just like its sister publications, Entertainment Weekly and InStyle Magazine did. They are now doing that with People Magazine. And here's why. You want to know why? People Magazine for like 20 years was the most read magazine in the magazine business. And that was until about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, People Magazine stopped being the most read magazine. And you know what surpassed it? You know what this tells you everything you need to know about the magazine business. The number one most read magazine in the United States of America is AARP. AARP. The American Association for Retired People. The only people who are still reading magazines are people who are above the age of 70 years old. And People Magazine is like, that's not a sustainable business model because those people die. Those people are not buying the advertising that we're promoting. Those people. So, I mean, that's crazy. Think about that. That tells you how everything's online. I can't remember the last time I looked at a magazine. If I read an article, and I read articles every single day prepping for this noon show, it's always an online version of, I used to get Rolling Stone too. I used to get Sports Illustrated and I used to get Rolling Stone. I used to look so forward to the day when Rolling Stone would come because you got it like a couple of days before it would show up on newsstands and you always felt like you knew, a little bit more. Yeah. But again, that's 30 years ago. Since the advent of the internet and, things, the .coms and all of that, I can't remember the last time I looked at a magazine. It's just not a thing. It's changed. The industry has changed. Technology has forced the change. People will scrap its weekly print edition as its new owners look to slash costs, even as writers privately gripe that the magazine's new editor looks to be an awkward fit for the gossip, celebrity, iconic magazine. A 48-year-old fixture in grocery checkout lines, beauty salons, and doctor's offices, known for its Sexiest Man Alive cover, are bracing for the magazine to go online only. All right, so there you go. So say goodbye to People Magazine. Bye, people. Yeah, whatever. People Magazine. What do you need People Magazine for? TMZ. Isn't TMZ People Magazine, really? I mean, isn't it like almost the same thing? Except just get rid of all the boring shit, all of the phony Hollywood puff pieces that are set up by PR executives for celebrities that are having bad times. Just eliminate all of that nonsense. It's TMZ. Just TMZ. TMZ does it better. Here's a new study. New study alert. This is also trending today. How many kids you got? Because the study is either going to make you feel good or it's going to make you feel bad. A new study says that people, grown adults with more than 2 kids, are dumber than people grown adults who have 2 kids or less. Now, there are a number of reasons that they state for this. Byron, you're a brilliant man. Look at you. You got the 1 kid. The study says having too many kids is harmful to the brain. Now, here's why. I'll tell you what. I'll pull it up and I'll use it for research, but I won't read the article because that's no fun when you just read the article. Here's what they say the reasons are. They say that when you have more than 2 kids, if you got a bunch of kids, your brain begins to focus almost solely on your duties as a parent, and it stops working in the way that, an interested, curious, sort of normal, evolving individual might. So if you have 5 kids, as you get older, you are no longer experiencing new things for the benefit of you and expanding your horizons and learning new things. Instead, you're just more focused on kids. Reason 2 is because when you have more kids, you typically have less money. And the economic factor affects you in ways like if you have 5 kids, you may not go out and experience things. You may not spend money on dinner. You may not spend money on culture. You may not spend money on, maybe you take a couple of classes at the local community college. If you got 5 kids and you can barely afford to keep shoes on them, you're not in a place where you are economically able to sort of continue to grow and continue to. So that's it. They say you're dumb. You're dumb. Three's a crowd. Having more than 2 kids linked to weaker brain function as we age. Everything is in moderation, even kids. Researchers from Columbia University and the Université de Paris Dauphine report having more than 2 kids may have a negative impact on late life cognition. The study shows that older parents with just 2 children appear sharper cognitively than those with 3 or more. All right, so there you have it. So I guess the outlier on this is if you have a bunch of kids, be rich. Just be rich, because your economic standing does affect how you grow and how you evolve and how you learn new things and become exposed to new ideas and embrace them or resist them, whatever it may be. Monkeypox is trending. Monkeypox is trending. Here's why. Check this out, you guys. Monkeypox is trending today because they're now finding that it's sexually transmitted. Who's banging the monkeys? Now, granted, I may not know much about monkeypox, but I just assume that it's a monkey disease, right? Maybe not. Monkeypox, here you go. Viral spread fears monkeypox could be sexually transmissible for the first time after outbreak of 7 cases. Infections have risen rapidly after the first patient traveled with the virus back in Britain from Nigeria. Oh God. It's always about Nigeria, isn't it? It's always about like some Ebola, what even like, well, I guess coronavirus might be man-made. But like these ones that don't seem to be man-made, that like leak out to the rest of the world and they're always from Africa. They always come from like some jungle where somebody's, dating an orangutan and, all of a sudden there's like a new virus. Ugh. Yesterday's health chief warned gay and more about gay men are having sex with monkeys. Is that how it works? I don't know how it works. I'm very simple on this. Yesterday's health chiefs warned gay and bisexual men to be on the lookout for new unexplained rashes after having sex with monkeys. This came after 4 of the new cases identified as gay or bisexual, having all picked up the bug in London. It led to new theories emerging surrounding the spread of the virus, which could have been due to intimate contact, such as during sex. While it doesn't necessarily mean it is a sexually transmitted disease in the exact sense that HIV is, it means any close contact that comes with sex could pass it on more easily. All right, guys, I'm now interested in monkeypox. I want to see what I don't know. Do you know what monkeypox is? Any of you people? I don't know what it is. Let's see here. Let's find out what happens with monkeypox. You crave bananas? Start throwing your own poop? I have no idea what monkeypox does. Monkeypox. All right, let's see. Wikipedia is so great. They give you everything. All right, monkeypox virus. Let's see. Monkeypox is a double-strand DNA. I don't care about any of this. And a species gene. I don't care about any of that. It is one of the human orthopox viruses, like cowpox. All right. But it is not a direct ancestor. Okay, this is all really smart people stuff. Monkeypox virus causes a disease that is similar to smallpox, but with a milder rash and lower death rate. Variation in virulence of the virus has been observed in isolated. Variation in virulence of the virus has been observed in isolates from Central Africa, where strains are more virulent than those from Western Africa. Monkeypox is carried by animals, including monkeys and primates. It was first identified. Okay, so there it is. It comes from monkeys. Monkeypox virus causes the disease in both primates and in other animals. The virus is mainly found in tropical rainforest regions of Central and West Africa. The virus can spread both from animal to human and from human to human. Okay, but so that means somebody's having sex with monkeys. Hey, man, whatever. No, not whatever. I know. At this point, schizophrenic me is right. Not whatever. Don't have sex. Leave the monkeys alone, weirdo. Let's see. What else do we have here? Best places to live list is out here. Best places to live in the United States of America. Let's go through this. Let's find out where the best places to live are. We ain't in one of them. If you're here in North Texas, it ain't one of them. And if you ain't in, if you're listening in Chicago or somewhere in the Midwest, some of my friends over there, you ain't in it either. The number one best place to live in America is rated as Huntsville, Alabama. I actually knew someone who lived in Huntsville, Alabama. And I know some of you go, Alabama? Now, Huntsville is like the Austin of Alabama. Like, even like the worst places in the world all have an Austin. They all have like a place where it's a cultural hotbed. It has the space industry, so there are an incredible amount of very well-educated people who have come from outside Alabama, so it's a diverse area. Huntsville, Alabama is number one. Once a sleepy farming town, Huntsville gained national recognition during the space race of the 1960s and is now, let's see what else it says about Huntsville, Alabama. Once a sleepy farming town, Huntsville gained national recognition during the space race in the 1960s and is now consistently ranked among the fastest growing metro areas in Alabama. In the past, the U.S. government relocated a team of German engineers to Huntsville in order to work on the Saturn V rocket program that sent the Apollo astronauts to the moon. Today, Huntsville residents pride themselves on being a nerdy bunch. The metro area has the most educated population in the state, and a large portion of the population works in engineering and defense, thanks to the large presence of NASA and the U.S. Army's Redstone Arsenal. Huntsville City Center has undergone a renaissance in recent years. An outbreak of new construction downtown means more shopping, dining, and apartment options are... Okay, so there you go. We don't need to really... None of us are moving to Huntsville, Alabama. But number one, congratulations. You are the best place in America to live. Huntsville, Alabama. Number two, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Gorgeous. I've been there. Gorgeous. Colorado Springs. If you just want to wake up every day, look out your window and go, God is real, Colorado Springs, Colorado is the place for you. Number three, got a big problem with this one. Spent a lot of time in this place. This place is awful. Number three is Green Bay, Wisconsin. What? That's a joke, right? It's got to be. Green Bay, Wisconsin is the number three best place in America to live. Have you ever been there? Now, granted, I hate the Green Bay Packers, but it's terrible. It's like... It's Waco with a football team. I don't get it. Number four, best place to live in America, Boulder, Colorado. Also, Boulder, Colorado. If you want to just wake up every morning, look out the window and go, God is real, Boulder, Colorado. San Jose, California is number five. Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina is number six. Fayetteville, Arkansas is number seven. Portland, Maine is number eight. Sarasota, Florida is number 9, and San Francisco, California is number 10. What? Look, San Francisco is awesome. I mean, it again, just like the Colorados, one of the most beautiful places in the United States. It is just mountains. It's got bays. It's got water. It's got hills. It is gorgeous. It's like the most expensive place in the world to live. Not the most expensive place. I think that's like Paris or something, but whatever. Or Zurich. I don't know. It's one of those two. San Francisco is unbelievably expensive because it's so beautiful. I don't know how it comes in at number 10. Let's do a couple more here. Ann Arbor, Michigan comes in at number 11. Ann Arbor's cool, man. Ann Arbor is cool. Midwestern college town with a lot of culture and a lot of like really cool shit. Naples, Florida is 12. Austin, Texas is 13. Des Moines, Iowa is 14. And Boise, Idaho comes in at number 15. Never been to Idaho. I never had a reason. But there you go. Those are the most beautiful places in the United States. Best places to live, according to Real Estate Magazine and U.S. News. Okay, porn beating. That's right. I said it. Porn beating. Here you go. That's the story here we'll get into. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, but I got questions. And I don't know, somebody who's the guy last night that doesn't like when I bring back stories on the nighttime show in order to expose another person to it and get their take on it? One of you people in the chat room was very critical, and it wounded me. It hurt me. I was like, are you kidding me? You don't understand why I'm bringing this back. You're just, you know what that is? It triggered me. It triggered me like, okay, so when I used to do talk radio, right? So I would be on a station and there'd be like 3 other shows, 3, 4, sometimes 5 other shows. But I hated when people would go, like we followed Howard Stern, okay? So let's say there was a big news story or something big that everybody was talking about. We would talk about it because it's a big thing that's happening because everybody's talking about it. And inevitably somebody would go, Howard already talked about that. And I'd be like, are you insane? Yeah, but we didn't. We're not Howard. We see things differently. This is a static subject that I hated that. It's so small-minded, and it just completely shows. It reveals you to be a very small-minded individual. And so when I have something that is interesting to me, like this story, when a story is interesting to me because it's trending or because people are talking about it, and then I bring it back because I want to hear James's take on it, that's not recycling. James is going to bring something original. Oh, you people. I don't remember who it was who said it, but it really bothered me. All right, so here's the porn story. And there's a really good chance that, although if you were listening last night, you know that tonight's big event, James is a sick, twisted dude. James is going to attempt on tonight's Pillow Talk show to make a case for why I should be okay with cockfighting. Now, I don't know where this comes from. I do not believe that I have ever stated a position on cockfighting. I've never really thought about it, but James assumes that I'm against cockfighting, and tonight he, for some strange reason, wants to make a case for cockfighting. So, there's that. And we're going to do this story tonight. This is I'm going to offer this one up. So don't be pissed off when you hear it again. This is a different kind of cockfighting. Wife beat hubby over porn pleasure session. There's so much that, you know what? Maybe I won't even do it now. That's it. Never mind. I'm not going to do it now because we'll do it later. Ha! See what you get? Somebody in the chat room ruined this for you. I'm not going to do this story now. I'm just going to save it. And now the whole class is being punished. The whole class is going to be punished now by not getting this really delicious story. This story, there is so much going on in this story. But I can't do it. I can't do it now and then do it again tonight to get James's take on it, because that would be recycling. Small-minded. Who was it? Who said it? Out yourself. Out yourself. I'm doing it anyway. I'm defiant. I'm feeling defiant today. Here we go. Wife beat hubby over porn pleasure session. Cops. Woman 30 belted spouse after catching him masturbating. Ugh. That's one of those words that never feels right in my mouth. May 16th, a Florida woman is facing felony charges for allegedly beating her husband with a belt after she caught him watching pornography on his cell phone and masturbating. Yeah. Need to gargle. Angela Davis, 30, was arrested Tuesday morning following a confrontation with the 51-year... 51! 21-year age difference in these two. 20. So the old guy with the... And by the way, I'm looking at her. I'm looking at the 30-year-old wife. No, there's nothing wrong there. No, you don't... I don't... I mean, she probably doesn't look like a porn star, which is apparently what he's into. But this 51-year-old guy, she's fine. She's, she looks rough because it's a mug shot, right? But you can tell from looking at her, if she did her hair and her makeup and put on a nice cocktail dress, she would be a very pretty woman. She's a pretty woman. 30 years old. He's 51. He's got a 30-year-old wife. He's masturbating. He's doing that. She catches him. She goes nuts and beats the snot out of him with a belt. Angela Davis, 30, was arrested Tuesday morning following a confrontation with the 51-year-old victim at their home in Summerfield, a Central Florida community. Davis's husband told cops that he had gotten into an altercation with her after she interrupted his pleasure session. Well, you see what had happened, officer, is I was in the midst of a pleasure session. Who calls it that? It's quoted. So he obviously called it that. That's what it says in the police report. The victim said Davis is the woman. The victim said Davis became angry and asked to see his phone and that he complied with her request. No, you don't do that. Have the fight. Here's what you got to do. If you're in this situation, and I never have been because I'm not really big into, and even if I was into porn, I couldn't imagine doing it on my phone. The phone is small. Don't you need like a bigger screen? Don't you need, I don't know, whatever. I'm just saying. Here's where he made a mistake. So she catches him and she says, "Let me see your phone." And he goes, "Here, baby, here's my phone." And it's like right there, right? It's like all the point. You need to know who you're with. And you need to choose your battleground here. What I would have done is not given her the phone. And while explaining to her I'm not giving her phone, I would have turned off the phone, crashed the phone, basically get rid of all of that. Because it would be my calculation that it's better for me to have an argument with her about not giving her my phone for privacy reasons, rather than just letting her see what kind of weird, jacked up porno I'm into, right? Because that's now you're embarrassed, and there's like a whole bunch of more layers with that. So when she says, "Let me see your phone," I go, "No, I'm not giving you your phone." She goes, "Why won't you let me see your phone?" "Because you shouldn't see my phone." I'd rather have that argument than the "What the hell is wrong with you, you sick, twisted I'd rather have the first argument than that one. So he made a mistake. He made a tactical error here in this fight. Because the argument over "you don't get my phone" may not end with her beating the shit out of him with a belt, right? But, she's being triggered by the pervasity of her 51-year-old old man husband. He's getting the belt out. Davis's husband told cops that he had gotten into an altercation with her after she interrupted his pleasure session. The victim said Davis became angry and asked to see his phone and that he complied with her request. No, don't do that. After Davis discovered some sort of communication between the victim and someone on the website Reddit. Oh, that's another thing. Okay, so he must have been involved in some weird porn. Reddit is for weird people. No, actually, that's not true. There are. I have occasionally had very specific questions about things and been directed to a Reddit thread that was made up of like smart people talking about a smart subject. But whenever I think of Reddit, I think of just like really sketch stuff, like just people like porn and Reddit. I can only imagine that that's like not good stuff. Just, like really rare, fetishy, kind of freaky stuff. After Davis discovered some sort of communication between the victim, her 51-year-old husband, and someone on the website Reddit, police reported, a verbal altercation ensued. The dispute subsequently turned violent, cops charge, after Davis wrapped a leather belt with a large metal buckle around her fist. She's hardcore, man. Woo. The victim told cops that when he took out his phone to dial 911, Davis knocked the device from his hands and then began striking him several times with the belt on the back of his head, his arms, and his back. A patrolman reported observing several marks across the victim, as well as large raised red lumps on the man's arms. That had very good detail and appeared to be from the buckle of the belt. When questioned by police, Davis, here's her side. Everyone should have their day in court. This is her side. When questioned by police, Davis confirmed she had found the victim watching pornography on his cell phone and masturbating, and that she had gotten upset. I'll say. Davis claimed to have struck her spouse with the belt to protect herself during a short struggle with the victim. Davis was arrested after investigators determined that she was the incident's primary aggressor. It's not illegal to look at porn. It's not. Seen above, Davis was charged with an aggravated battery and a witness tampering. Both are felonies. She was freed from the Marion County Jail after posting $1,000 bond and is scheduled for arraignment on June 14th. Is there more? There's more. Okay, hold on. Let's look at the document. The document, this is from Smoking Gun. The documents on these are always fun. You know what? Never mind. It's going to take a while to download. Yeah, how about that? 51-year-old dude, still needing porn. Got a semi-cute 30-year-old wife. She's a hothead. It's probably what attracted him to her. He probably thought, boy, she's a pistol, I'll tell you. And now that pistol has been turned on him. Let's see here. Let's jump into the chat room, see what you guys are all getting into. See what kind of nonsense you guys are. Okay, here we go. Ross says Channel 9. Was it Channel 9? Was Channel 9 is the guy who doesn't like it when I try to reintroduce topics to a different audience with a different spin? Oh, so sorry. That's okay. I can't stay mad at any of you guys. You guys are my daytime friends. It's like we're all sitting around drinking and we're arguing. That's all. Don't ever take it personally. Oh, yeah. Jeff says, I can't wait for you to run the story about how having more than 2 kids makes you dumber by Parker tonight. Oh, yeah, that's in the back pocket. Yeah, I'm definitely going to bring that back in some capacity. It may just be an offhanded, remark. But you know what's fun? Now I don't have to reestablish it because if you're there, if you're listening, you'll get it. I'll just use that as an aside. And you'll be like, what does that mean? And I'll go, just nothing. Just something we talked about on the noon show. Oh, Adam has some alternate euphemisms that I can use because I can't seem to say the word stroking the salami, beating the meat, wagging the willy. All good. Jeff says, punishing him for her shortcomings. Oh, look at you, you misogynist. Get him, Adam. Get him. He's a misogynist. You're the misogyny police. Stroking the salami, beating the meat, whacking the willy. We already did that. We already did those. Jerk it. Why is this not? This is not fun. Hold on. For some reason, I'm skipping over stuff. Jerking the gherkin. Will says, I would never disrespect my wife by watching porn. She was in the right. Moving on. Adam says he needs a cool wife, one that watches porn with him. Yeah, I mean, if that's something that you're into, it's not a requirement for me because I don't have a problem with porn. I have no problem with it. I read here's what I think about pornography. I feel I'm very concerned about, and I guess it's been around. Well, it's been around for a long time, but the ease of access that people have to pornography these days is really troubling. It's really, I have spoken to people. I've had this conversation with people for years now about, and, there was a time when I was a younger man when I think I was engaged with, pornography in the way that most heterosexual, red-blooded young men in the internet age are. But as I got older, it sort of became this really frightening thing because it's so unrealistic. It's like, how can you have a truly beautiful, loving, caring, sharing, and fulfilling sexual relationship with a normal woman when all of these fantasies that are being, and I am not saying that there needs to be, you need to get rid of porn. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying, hey, to each his own. What I am saying is that if you are 12 years old, like the way we used to be when we were kids, we'd find a Playboy in the garage and we'd be like, ooh, that's one thing. But if you are 12, 13 years old and you can just with a couple of keystrokes, you can just like find the most vulgar and just over the top pornography. What does that do to a 15, 16-year-old boy who's like super sexually charged up because he's a human boy, and that's a whole thing about, hormones and whatnot. What does that do to him when the normal thing for him to become sexually aroused by is a woman with giant fake boobs who's 6 foot tall with, fake. What does that do when he has to marry a normal, beautiful woman? A normal who looks like a regular? I don't know, man. I worry that there are generations of boys who are kind of establishing a bar in their head for what sexual gratification is that is just not meetable in the real world. And what kind of ramifications is that going to have for his sexual performance? Do we get to a point where your normal wife who maybe pushed out a couple of kids and, is a little bit heavy and walks around the house without makeup on? Is she going to be able to get you to where you're used to being because you've been looking at porn for 15 years? These unattainable, fictionalized versions of what women are supposed to look like. And again, I am not saying we need to march against porn. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. Porn is fine. You want to do porn, you do porn. You look at porn, you want to look at porn. If that's your thing, fine. I am just putting out a balloon here saying, I think that for me, and I think that for other people, that it might be dangerous. It might be the kind of thing that could really impact your true life personal relationships with authentic women. I don't know. But I certainly don't have, and look, anybody who pretends, this is like the masturbation conversation. Missed me. Did you ever know kids like 13, 14, 15 years old? You know, kids, even when they grew up, we had this kid that we hung out with who used to say, I never did that. That is not something that I ever did. That's gay. You're gay if you do that. You know, that was the whole thing. Like the kid who denies that he's ever touched them. That was always hysterical. Well, there are people out there who are like that with porn. I've never even looked at it. I find it to be completely repulsive. Yeah, well, maybe that's true, but the numbers suggest different. The top 100 most visited websites in the world are porno sites. Google comes in at like 101. Pornhub, every time they put out the list of the most visited websites on the planet, the top 50 or what I'm being a little bit over the top here, but the top ones are always porno sites. So people are looking at it. People are consuming it. It is a thing. I'm just floating a balloon saying that maybe we ought to take a step back. I'll tell you, I'm glad it wasn't around when I was 12, 13 years old. I'm glad I didn't have my sexual identity defined by these images of women who were not attainable in real life, not real. If that's the only way that you can sexually satisfy yourself is by some over-the-top fantasy by two, fembot Amazon women doing things that doesn't really happen in real life, I think that's trouble. Let's see here. Byron says, real men love their little baby makers even when they get not so little. There you go. Okay, yeah, you saying that publicly. Good for you. Play that game. Jeff Glenn says, my baby maker is my pants, Byron. I've loved it my whole life. Look at that. There he goes. Adam says, I respect your stand and I worry about kids and how they're warped. I can't be. I watched and I turned out okay. Yeah, you're just young enough. You're younger than me, Adam, where maybe that was maybe the ease of access to pornography for you and your generation is different than mine. But you would be generation one. You would be the generation that would worry about sexual dysfunction in later life because of what you were exposed to. But if you got through it, good for you. Let's see here. But I mean, I do worry. I've got a 13-year-old son. Who's going through puberty. And, I am certain, I'm certain that he is a normal 13-year-old boy. I just worry about what he's going to be at 23. I worry about what he's going to be at 33 based on what he has, been exposed to or can be exposed to so easily nowadays. Adam says, I grew up with VHS. Internet porn came around when I was having sex, so I didn't use it. Okay. All right. So maybe you're a little older than I think. What else do we have here? Will says, if you can't let your significant other look through your phone, you're probably up to no good. Open phone policy is the only way to be in a real loving relationship. Will, do you also share your Facebook profile with your wife? That's ridiculous. No. We don't share the phone. We don't do any of that stuff. And that's normal. You know why? Because sometimes my wife pisses me off and I text with my friends who also are pissed at their wives and we talk shit. And that's really none of her business. It doesn't mean that we're going to disagree on this. Let's see. April says, I had the fun of catching my 13-year-old. Oh, hentai. That's cartoons, right? Isn't that... That's a thing, right? Isn't that like a thing in modern porn, like cartoons? Which, again, I guess I'm getting too old. I don't get that. That seems like a cartoon. Although, I did have an attraction to Judy Jetson. I really thought that Judy Jetson had something. And who was the other one? Mrs. Jetson. Mrs. Jetson was kind of hot. She was kind of milfy. Oh, and then of course there was Daphne from Scooby-Doo. Daphne was hot. And then we got into the 80s and all bets were off because you had like She-Ra and all that stuff. They're running around in bikinis. That was different. Maybe I do get it. Maybe we've just worked it through, April, and maybe now I get it. Although it is strange to me that is a thing now. That is like porno cartoons are a thing, which is that better than, I don't know if it's better. Putting people out of work. I don't know. Although it is giving animators a new lane for their creativity. Let's see here. Jeff says number 2 son turns 13 in 5 days. I've already caught him looking at inappropriate materials. Yeah, my kid is 13. I appreciate you guys sharing that kind of stuff. My kid's my kid's private life is probably not ever going to make it onto this stream. He didn't sign up for this. But yeah, I can see that. Jeff says Wilma Flintstone had that tiny little waist and a pair of rockets up top. Did she now? Okay. Oh boy, oh boy. Adam talking about Reddit. He says, that's why I like Reddit, honestly. The subreddits I use are normal people. Yeah, I don't use Reddit all that much. I've just I have been directed to Reddit for, like I said, very specific questions that I've Googled, and there have been very good answers, very smart people, good normal people. But then I've also seen and I understand that there is a dark side to Reddit that just seems very sketchy. Very sketchy. Jeff Glenn says, so what you're suggesting is that boys 13 to 25 should only watch amateur porn so he has realistic goals. What is the difference between amateur porn and regular porn? Aren't they all porn stars? I mean, I guess I don't like what constitutes something to be amateur porn, whereas it's not. I don't know. I don't really have that much of an interest in it. Byron, real men love their little baby. Good for you, Byron. Can you wave that flag, Byron? Good for you. As his wife is in the background looking over what he's typing. Let's see here. Let's see, anybody else have anything? Oh, there it is. There's that. There's April. Mom, that's that. Going back to April's post, I had the fun of catching my 13-year-old. Yeah. Is this? Do girl? I don't even go in there. Not really a line of conversation I want to have. Ross Rubio says women have unrealistic goals too. #firehose. Well, porn does, I guess, if it's it. I mean, I know I have known a lot of women. I mean, looking at porn is not just something that guys do. I mean, they aren't the number one sites in the world because it's only, in fact, porn for women is I was just reading an article a couple of months ago about how that's the fastest growing area in porn, that they have stopped pornographers, porno makers, porn producers. They have stopped solely focusing on men because they've realized that women are using this too, and women have slightly different kind of requests and slightly different things. So porn for women is a very real thing. And it's big. It's really big. And it was also, oh my God, this article. I don't even want to go into this. I read it a while ago, and I had intended. Did we talk about it on Pillow Talk? This is like probably 3-4 months ago. And it was about the evolution of the porn business. But I think I tabled it because I don't know. I wasn't really all that into. I mean, it's salacious conversation. And, we've kind of just stumbled into it here because of this story between this husband and wife. But there are some really dark and really disturbing things that are very popular in current pornography. And I remember reading this article and thinking, this is what I'm talking about. This is what happens when just normal sex doesn't do it for you anymore. Where are you going to push the envelope to? Like the fetishes and the topics, or I guess like hashtags, would it be? I don't know. When you're on like a big like porno website, like I always mention Pornhub because that's like the biggest in the world. But so like, I guess if you search like the top search, what are they called? What would they be called? Tags, hashtags, fetishes, whatever. Some of them are just, I mean, I have to tell myself that they all fall into the realm of fantasy, but they're not normal. They're not like normal things like stepmoms and stuff. It's like one of the biggest stepdads. It's like, is one of the biggest. And then there's always been that issue with, which I find to be the most despicable thing. This has been around forever. Barely legal, that whole thing. Okay, here's a little girl. She looks like she's underage. She's really not, because, that would be illegal. But this girl looks like she's 15. And look what how is that not, how? I mean, I don't want to talk about porn anymore. It is interesting, though. It's like kind of talking about, I have real concerns about young people. I don't know. Jeff Glenn says, I'm far more likely to watch a YouTube cooking video than porn. April Michelle likes dirty romance novels. Let's see. Byron says he's been divorced 17 years from his baby maker, his baby machine. Women have unrealistic goals too. Yeah, you know what? Like, okay, so you know what I find way more enticing than porn? Like I think it's because I'm a little bit more creative. I like to use my mind, but like I find like bikini pictures or lingerie pictures or, like a Victoria's Secret pictures, stuff like that. I find those to be way more sexually interesting to me than just whatever the garden variety porn is. And I wonder if that's weird of me, because I like a little something to be left to the imagination, I don't think that's weird at all. I think that probably does make some sense. I don't know. I just don't need it all right there gratuitously, here, look at this. Like, yeah, nah. All right, there you go. We've just spent some chicks look better in clothes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot of women look better in clothes. A lot of women look fantastic in clothes. And they probably still look fantastic in without clothes. But yes, I know what you're saying. Some women just look better in clothes. They look great. All right, let's see what's trending today. Let's see some of the things that we've missed while we've been doing the show. We're going a little bit late today. That's okay. Tariq Cohen is still trending. That is such a sad story. Harrison Ford is trending. Why is Harrison Ford trending? I didn't see that happening earlier. Paramount Plus is going big for its Yellowstone TV prequel series, 1932. Okay, I love Yellowstone, the Dutton family. I love it. And I really enjoyed 1883, which is a prequel series to Yellowstone, which takes us all the way back to the beginning of the Dutton family making their trip across, up to Yellowstone, wherever it is that there was, at Montana, Wyoming, wherever. So now there's another prequel series called 1932. Okay. Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford have been tapped to star in the origin story from creator Taylor Sheridan, which will follow a new generation of the Dutton family. Let me tell you something about Taylor Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan is a money-making machine. Taylor Sheridan was a D-list actor who sat down and wrote a story about the Dutton family. And the story became Yellowstone. Now he's got multiple spinoffs. He's writing other movies. He's just a major influence right now. He basically runs Paramount. He is doing for Paramount, the Paramount network. He's doing for Paramount what Ryan Murphy did for FX in the early days of FX, when nobody watched FX, but then he put up Nip Tuck and then he put up American Horror Story and all that stuff. Ryan Murphy became like the most powerful person at FX. That is what Taylor Sheridan has become at Paramount. And I can't believe it, because I've always liked Taylor Sheridan. I am a big Sons of Anarchy fan. And when he was Deputy Hale, the cop. He was Deputy Hale, and that's where the first time that I ever saw him. And I went, that's an interesting character. But not a star. I was like, I'll probably never see that guy. That guy will probably never do anything else. But I like the character of Deputy Hale. He's Taylor Sheridan. He's now like the most important guy creating. This is really big news, though. 1932, the second prequel to the show Yellowstone. It's going to star Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. Wow, that's pretty big. That is really big. Let me spend a little moment here. Maybe you people don't like Yellowstone. I don't know. I do, so indulge me. I am actually, and I love me some Harrison Ford, and I also love me some Helen Mirren. Talk about a fine-looking woman. Helen Mirren is a fine-looking woman. She is like 90 or whatever, and she is still a very beautiful woman. Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren are set to star in Taylor Sheridan's new Yellowstone prequel, 1932, at Paramount, this according to Variety. The show follows the Dutton family in the titular year at a time of Prohibition, the Great Depression, and westward expansion. 1932 is a follow-up to 1883, the latter of which told the story of the Dutton family as they made their way to Montana to found what would become the Yellowstone Ranch in the Mothership series. 1932 was ordered to series at Paramount back in February. The show falls under Sheridan's expansive overall deal with the Paramount Network. This is the second TV starring role for Ford that Ford has lined up in recent months. It was announced in April that Ford would star in the upcoming Apple comedy series Shrinking, the first major TV role of his career. The iconic actor is best known for starring in film franchises like Star Wars, Blade Runner, Indiana Jones, and the Jack Ryan series, the last of which we grew. Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones, Han Solo, and Jack Ryan. That's pretty cool. All right, there you go. That's why Harrison Ford is trending. That's cool. I'm very excited. Okay, very good. I enjoyed 1883, but I didn't love it. Like, I didn't love 1883 the way that I love Yellowstone. So we'll see. 1932 seems like a little bit more contemporary. I might be able to connect with it more. Let's see. My worst car. Hashtag my worst car is trending. It's hashtag time. Tell us about the worst car you've ever had and tag it with my worst car. Could be on. All right. So what will my worst car be? I don't think I've had a worst car. I mean, all my cars have been fine. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I mean, when I was young, I guess like your first car could be your worst car because that's typically like a beater. But my mom got me a nice car. It was, it was a nice car. There was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't like a terrible. It wasn't a new car. It was a used car, but it was a nice car. So I guess I can't play that game. I can't play that. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are still trending. Let's see here. Tariq Cohen is still trending. Oh my God. The Fed is trending. Chairman Powell says the Fed will not hesitate to keep raising rates until inflation comes down. Okay. Grubhub is trending. Some customers are reporting issues on Grubhub during the company's New York City free lunch promo. Okay. UFOs is trending again as the U.S. House Subcommittee holds public hearings on unexplained aerial phenomena. What else? Anything else happening? Change. That's it. Nah, we got nothing. We got a Cat Williams. Cat Williams is trending. Cat Williams World War III comedy special arrives on Netflix. There was a debate going on earlier today about Cat Williams, and somebody said that somebody had tweeted, and it got a whole lot of approval. Somebody said that Cat Williams has the finest body of work of any stand-up comedian in history. And I was like, whoa, that's a pretty bold statement. But then I started to read the thread, and there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know about. Dude's got 17 Netflix specials. 17! Like nobody else has 6. You know, he's got 17. And so I don't know. I am not all that familiar with Cat Williams. I mean, I know that he's a very big stand-up comedian. The reviews for this new Cat Williams World War III comedy special, which is on Netflix now, are really good. The reviews are really, really good. So, you know, I might check that out. I'm always willing to check my blind spot. I've got a bit of a comedy blind spot with Cat Williams. But reading all of these things earlier today, I was like, wow, okay. So maybe I'll check that out. That could be a thing. Cat Williams. Most impressive body of work? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I certainly didn't know that he had 17 specials. Good Lord. World's richest family loses $17 billion. Of course, we're talking about the Waltons, they of the Walmart family. Pentagon shows declassified photos and video clips of unidentified aerial phenomena. What is this? It says Heath Ledger died almost 15 years ago. It wasn't today, though. I'd have mentioned that. Is that going to be something I'm going to mention tomorrow? When did he die? When did Heath Ledger die? In January of January? What? I don't know. Never mind. That's clickbait. I just got sucked into some clickbait. Kevin says, worst cars, lots. The Egg was a Pinto. I don't think I remember your Pinto. The Gremlin, where the stick shift came off during my driver's test, and the Grand Prix, whose door wouldn't shut, so I had to tie it closed. Kevin Barber, I don't remember you having bad cars, unless these came, you know, after we had parted ways. I don't, but I remember you had a nice car. Didn't you have like a nice Nissan in high school? And didn't I crack the windshield? But we won't go into that. Adam Reyna, Pimp Chronicles Volume 1 is one of my favorite stand-up specials of all time. I love Cat Williams. Plus, he had great stuff on cancel culture recently. Ross Rubio says, my mom had the worst car during my adolescence. Talk about trim repellent. April says, in 2004, I had an Oldsmobile 88. Definitely my worst car. Let's see what else do we got here. Jeff suggests that anyone who hasn't seen it, watch Clark on Netflix. It's great. You can find a trailer on YouTube. Yeah, I've been watching. I've seen the trailer for Clark, and I've been sort of hovering over it. Like, this looks really good, but it's in Swedish or broken English, whatever it is. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch that. And then I remind myself, I have watched like 10 seasons of Vikings type shows where everybody is speaking in Swedish to English, where it's all like English with a heavy Swedish accent. And that didn't really bother me in the Viking shows. So why would it bother me when watching Clark? Clark does look good. Clark looks like something I would definitely be interested in. Let's see what else. Sorry, I'm just trying to yeah, I'm still looking at all of these like worst car things. I like, what would my worst car be? I don't know. I don't think I had a worst. Okay. All right. You know what? If we gotta say worst car, okay. So if I've gotta sort of put one in there, most embarrassing car, like maybe the one that was, I don't know, for like a year or two. Oh God, I'd really have to think about all the cars that I've had. For like a year or two when I was like 18, 19 years old. No, maybe it was like 20. Yeah, maybe 19, 20 years old. For about a year or two, I had a white Plymouth Horizon. Do you remember those? Do you remember Plymouth Horizons? It was a fine car. There was nothing wrong with the Plymouth Horizon. It was just, it wasn't cool. It was kind of, wait, let me see if I find a picture of a white Plymouth Horizon. Let's go with 1986 Plymouth Horizon. Let's see. Plymouth Horizon. Let's see if they get us a white one. Yeah, you want to talk about like not really attracting the ladies. This was there it is. Look at this bad boy. All right, there we go. Oh, that's it. Look at that. Oh my God, and it's listed as the most humbling cars. Yeah, it was definitely a humbling car. See if I can find like a good picture. Yeah, that'll do. That one will have to do. All right. Yeah. So okay. So if we're talking about the worst car, this I had like in college, and it wasn't a terrible car. Let's see if we share it. There it is. Is this the biggest I can get it? Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Oh yeah, I wasn't getting anything. I was. Look at that. That's a silly car. That thing is just right there, and it was that color, and it had those kinds of wheels. Yeah. Nothing you can do with that. I'll tell you. I'll show you my first car though. My first car was very cool. My first car here. This would be my first car. All right, let's see. Yeah, baby. There it is. Look at that. That's perfect. That's it. I would love to have this car now. This car is bad. This was my first car. This is what my mom got me. And it wasn't as cool then as it is now because it's like classic now. But look at this. This was it right here. Can we get to it? Can we get a good picture of it? There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, how come it didn't switch? It didn't switch. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. All right, look at this. There it is. Look at that bad boy. Oh yeah, look at that interior. I would love, like if I had money, I would totally get my first car remade. Look at that. That's exactly the same color. Look at that. Rolling around. I mean, it wasn't cool. It was in 1978. It wasn't cool in 1988, but it's cool now. It's like, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, there you go. I like that car. That was a cool car. I didn't take care of it because I was a terrible, ungrateful little bastard kid, but you know. Byron says John Candy drove that in Uncle Buck. Did he? I think that my son's first car is probably going to be the car I'm driving now. I think that's no, mine was a Grand Prix, Jeff. It was a 1978 Pontiac Grand Prix, burgundy and maroon two-tone with crushed burgundy interior. Ooh, it was nice. Big bench seats. I like that. Oh, except the only difference between that car and my car had spoked wheels. Fancy. Looked good. Look good with the spoked rims. All right, that's going to be it for today's show. I know we started a little bit late. I appreciate you guys all hanging out, sticking around. I know it's a little bit changed to our typical structure of this show. It's almost 4 o'clock. I got stuff to do. I got to prepare for Parker making his case to me tonight. Why cockfighting should be okay. I don't even know if he's trying to make it like he says it should be legal or it should be okay. I don't know. And he's like presenting this to me like I've been on picket lines. Stop. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Stop cockfighting. I don't think that I've ever taken a position on cockfighting ever before, but whatever, he wants to, apparently he's got an angle that he wants to lay on me. It's going to be a twisted angle. It's going to be weird, bizarre, lacking in probably any moral foundation or principles for that matter. But it will be some kind of weird justification for people fighting chickens, which again, I've never even thought about. It's not really something I care about. If you knocked on my door and you said, hey, you want to go watch a chicken fight? I'd be like, okay. Like I would go check it out. I'd be like, all right, I'm going to look at this. Now, the question would be, when I go to a second, I don't know, but it's not like... Now, if you knocked on my door and went, hey, you want to go watch a dog fight? I'd be like, get the hell out of here. I'm calling the police. I don't want to have anything to do with that because dogs are cute. Chickens, I don't really care. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a shit about chickens. I really don't. Chickens, I eat. Chickens are delicious. If you bring a chicken and put him on my lap and go, kill that chicken, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to kill that chicken. I don't really want to kill anything. I don't understand what the energy of this world is. And, the spark of life is a very precious thing. And I am at all times going to try and not be the guy that snuffs out anything spark of life because I don't really get the ramifications for an action like that, be it karmic, be it spiritual, whatever. So no, I don't want to just kill a chicken. Will I eat a chicken that somebody else killed? Hell yeah. Come on. I'm no vegan. I like steak. I know how they kill animals, but I don't celebrate it. I don't enjoy it. It's not like the kill. I compartmentalize. I am able to enjoy a nice steak and, not focus on the fact that they put a bolt in that steak in that cow's head. I can do that. I can compartmentalize. I don't want to be the guy who walks up to the cow and puts the bolt in its head. That's all. You're a hypocrite. No, I'm really not. Adam says cockfights are brutal. Yeah, I imagine they are. I never really thought about it. I've never been to it. But again, if somebody says, hey, there's a cockfight going on in the garage, you want to come watch? And I'd be like, you mean chickens, right? And they'd be like, yeah, chickens. What'd you think? And I'd be like, never mind, let's go. And I would look and I would watch a couple of chickens fight. Again, the big moral question for me would, if you come back tomorrow and go, hey, you want to go watch some chickens fight again? What would my answer be? I don't know. I think that after the first time, I'd probably be like, nah, I've seen it. Yeah, not really a thing that I'm not going to be watching chicken fights on ESPN 10, It's not. They're like dumb prehistoric birds. They don't know what they're doing. Dog fighting, no. Hell no. I love dogs too much. I have too much of an attraction and a connection to dogs. Nope. Dolphin fights? Don't invite me to no dolphin fight. I have no interest in a dolphin fight. I have no interest in a hamster fight. I had hamsters. I love hamsters as a kid. I have no interest in a cat fight. I don't like cats, and I recognize that they are just awful aberrations of species or whatever they are. I don't like cats. I would watch two cats fight. I've seen cats fight. I mean, not in an organized setting where it's like Friday night cat fights. I mean, I would just mean like two cats fighting over something in a garbage can. I've seen that. I'd watch gorillas fight. That would actually be cool. I would watch gorillas fight. Like I saw a gorilla fight once. It didn't go on for very long because, quite frankly, one of the gorillas was super badass. But this was like the top gorilla in the gorilla enclosure, and I was there when another gorilla came and challenged it, and it was brutal. It was a gorilla fight. It was awesome. But again, it wasn't like, hey, come down to the garage. We've got two gorillas fighting. I don't know that would be something I'd be interested in. Okay, donate to the show if you can. We always do appreciate that. The show runs on tips. It runs on your kindnesses, your gratuities. Treat me like your bartender. Treat me like your valet. Treat me like your barista, whatever it is. All of the options are right there. Venmo, PayPal. Although PayPal's difficult. Cash App, any of that stuff. We will be back tonight at 9 o'clock for Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. Come join us. Hold on. Let me jump in here. Leslie wants me to stop it about cats. All right. I have a complicated relationship with cats. I don't hate cats. Cats, look, let's be honest about it. Cats are beautiful. They really are. They're beautiful creatures. They're beautiful. I have never had, and when I say stuff like, oh, cats suck, I hate cats, I'm saying that mostly for a fact. I mean, I don't hate cats. Like, yeah, I couldn't kill a cat. Kitties are adorable. I just have never in my life had any kind of connection with a cat. Many connections with dogs. Many with dogs. Dogs, they look at you, you look at them, you're like, okay, we're cool with each other. All right, let's go eat something. Never had that with cats. Have had the direct opposite relationship with cats. Where I've lived with cats. I dated a girl who had a cat. That cat, I didn't like that cat. Well, I didn't dislike the cat. Let's just say this. I didn't love that cat. There you go. I've also dated girls who have dogs that weren't mine, and I've loved those dogs. Never felt it with the cat. The cat was always just kind of like, what's up? It's like very standoffish, very judgy. I always feel like cats have a superior kind of thing. But look, if you like cats, I think that's a wonderful thing. I think animals are wonderful. I prefer dogs. That's all I'm saying. All right, gotta go. See you, everybody. Be well tonight, 9 o'clock. Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio.